Hello, 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 everybody. How are you today? Thank you for joining. It's so good to see everybody. Happy week before Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. I hope everybody is doing good. My thing is just beeping at me. Okay. Hello, Brandon. How are you?
Hello. Well, how are you doing today, Kathy?
I'm good. I'm good. Can everybody, I just want to make sure everybody can see and hear everything. Just confirmation so that we know. And yeah, so how's your week been?
Oh, it has been interesting. It's kind of felt like a little bit of this void, almost like a calm before the storm, if you will. It has that kind of vibe to it where it's like things aren't exactly fully anchored yet. There's a lot of malleability I feel in the energy right now.
What does that mean, malleability?
Malleable, so it's like easily changed or movable, like to change form or change shape. So like metal that's malleable would be like gold, you can move that around, or aluminum, you can move that around a lot too. So
right.
It feels like it has this vibe of things still have time to change, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel like it's somehow in connection with this whole great conjunction that I feel like is going to create a definite vibration, which it's already, we're already feeling the effects of the conjunction. But
so has anyone else been feeling this conjunction that's going on? Because I know I have. I know I've been there all week with like highs, lows, in like you said, interchangeable moods, and it's not like bad moods. It's not like I'm freaking out or losing it or anything like that, but it's like you just start going really deep into yourself and you really start thinking, and then you're bringing up old crap and then you're justifying the old crap. It's not justification. I think it's more releasing than anything else. It's like, okay, why am I thinking about this? Oh, okay, I understand why I'm thinking about this. Let's figure that out and then release it, right? So it's definitely been when I say moods, like I don't want to say like like happy and then sad. It's more like, oh, this is hitting me. Why why is this doing this? But you know what, it's been positive for the most part. Like I feel like what has been coming up was really needed to come up, and in the other sense, it also makes you have that different perspective on it too. So
yes.
Right, rather than getting into a phase of sinking into that energy, it's more like, oh, okay, I'm understanding why this energy is coming, because it's not necessary, it's not needed, it's a past view, it's a past energy that I may have felt, a year or two or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was, right? And you're just allowing it to come through, and then you're going, okay, I'm good. I'm really good. Like I'm in a better place, and I'm feeling more happy and positive in some degrees.
Exactly. I mean, that's what it takes constantly. We're always checking in, or should be checking in with ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Creating balance. What has worked in the past? What's working now? What do I let go of? What do I keep? It feels like a little checks and balances kind of system.
Yeah. I hope Polyfree's okay if I say this out loud, but I was just reading what he wrote, and he says, I've been pretty static over the last couple of weeks, emotionally. But my desire to find someone to spend time with brings up a lot of negative thoughts and past situations. And I'm going to, it's almost as though I'm going to kind of answer this in the form of sort of a reading for you, but not really, because I do feel that this is sort of a universal thing, but it's not particularly about, I think that a lot of these feelings, like exactly what you had just said about, spending time with somebody, I think that there is a fear about that unknown that could be coming, or, even with this, planetary alignment that we have, this all of this stuff. We're heading into 2021, the brand new year. And I think a lot of us really did start 2020 with a view of like, oh my God, this is going to be so much better because, 2019 kind of sucked. 2018 kind of sucked in some aspects, right? And so we enter 2020 with this like renewed hope, and all of a sudden, poof, look at like what we've already gone through. So now we're entering 2021, and we're sort of in this place of being like, oh, okay, should I get excited about my future? Should I I was excited last year. Is this going to happen again? What is going to hit us exactly? And now we're afraid of 2021. That's exactly where we are. But what I'm feeling here is, as far as relationship connections and stuff like that, I do feel a more positive energy coming through. Now, here's the thing, whether this relationship is a better understanding of yourself, or it's a better understanding, or perhaps that connection with that, specific person or a special person, I feel like what we have to, all of this energy that's coming in, like I said, does need to be released, but not released in the extent of, give up hope of this, or anything like that. But I feel like those feelings, this could be even a past fear is what I'm getting, like from Poly Free. This could be a past fear that, am I ever going to find that person? And we've done a reading with you a few weeks ago, and I still feel that same energy coming through where, yes, this person for you is going to just completely come in and knock you off your feet. Like you're going to know exactly who it is, and, you're going to see them, feel them. I feel like a little bit of hesitation in there when they do come through, but hesitation, not particularly with either you or them. It's like a combined hesitation, kind of in the belief of, is this real? Wow, is this real? Should I go for it? And I feel like those fears, that might be a whole new thing that you're going to have to release and, kind of go through again. Can I trust? Can I put faith in this? And I feel like as you're going through that process, the more the releasing that you do have, the closer the both of you are going to come. And I do feel that in 2021, you are going to be meeting this person. So, that's exactly what I'm getting with you. And I just wanted to kind of put that out there, because I do feel that a lot of people are in this fear. And here's the thing. When you're staying within yourself and you just know, like sometimes you just know, this is the person, this is the one, this is where my heart is going, have faith in that, have trust in that, have that security in that. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be ups and downs within the connection or the relationship. But I do feel, really globally, I guess, or consciously, we are all going to kind of go through some of those fears, but the thing is going to be, going through the releasing of that. And ultimately, I also feel too, is that 2021 is going to be a year of us trusting our own intuition, going within ourselves and knowing the next step, trusting our own abilities, trusting our own thoughts, our own feelings. And it's like that connection that we have to, really work on making within ourselves in order to bring in this person that we do want to bring in, or that relationship, or whatever it is that we are looking for. So I hope that makes sense.
I think that's very true, that we're going to have to be using our own intuition. It almost feels like this is going to be a requirement. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like it's going to be one of the telltale signs of this, quote unquote, great shift. Whenever I think of Aquarius, I think of intuitive notions and understandings. Aquarius very much represents to me a beautiful thunderstorm, where the Aquarian energy is like that lightning bolt that darts across the sky, right? And we all know that light, well, hopefully we should know, light is information. you know, when we have daylight, like it is currently here right now, I can see everything. And therefore, I know that there's a wall, there are blinds, there are soundboards, there is a computer or a desk. In the nighttime, you can't really see, right? So you don't have any information. Right. So light allows information. And I think of that lightning bolt skirting across the sky, gathering a horde of information in an instant. And sometimes that lightning bolt touches the ground, right? And it can bring that light or that information to the ground. All of this screams intuition to me, because what is it like when you get an intuitive notion in your brain? It's firing electrical impulses in your brain because of some outside stimulus, your antenna being your brain or your aura, and it creates a shock and brings in information. Intuition, I think, is going to be the key component of what we are going to be going through as a trend, I think, for at least the next 10 years, if not carried with us throughout the rest of humanity, having that developed intuition. I think we're going to see children after this great conjunction born with,
crazy abilities,
abundant amount of abilities
and talents that.
Yes.
And it's interesting that you say that, because sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we're already seeing that. We've been seeing that for about, I'd say, close to the last 15, 20 years, where these kids, like, they just know how to paint. They know how to play music. I remember with my son when he was born, a year and a half, this kid, he was already, working a desktop. His thing is computers. And I remember at 5 years old, him coming up to me and saying, because he could read fully at that time, and he brought me the instructions, and he said, because he learned to read at like 2. That was the other thing. He was literally reading books at 2. And he came to me, he was about 4.5, and he said, I want to make a server for Minecraft. I was like, yeah, okay. That's cool. And he'd written down the instructions, and he's like, this is how you do it. Can you help me? And I said, yeah, sure. And of course I'm like, like somebody learning to type. Okay. And I remember he took he's like, oh, for God's sakes. And he took the laptop off of my lap, put it on he had his own server running up on my, on Minecraft within 15 minutes. So, wow. And since then, this kid, he's already coding. He's got his own stuff going on. There's nothing that I remember 8 years old, he built a computer inside of a computer because he wanted Linux. He wanted to run Linux. So he built a virtual computer inside of his computer so that he could run Linux and he could run, Windows, right? So I was like, okay. So, but this is what we're seeing. I know people whose kids, they're just like, I've seen some of their drawings. I could take every art class in the freaking world, and there's not a chance. My art is stick people. Maybe they'll have a happy face on them. That's, But
I think it brings up an interesting idea, an interesting theory about the waves of the people that come into Earth, every, we'll say, maybe decade or so. It seems like there is a difference. It's like the consciousness level is different. And this is where we could, argue back and forth between, is it their disposition, or is it their nature and how they were nurtured and the world that they were born into that forced them to be this way? But I don't
know if it's the nurture. I think to some degree it's absolutely the nurture. This just pops into my head. So again, I'm sorry because I keep cutting you off, but I have a lot of friends with kids, right? And I was just thinking about this, and it just kind of popped into my head as I was listening to you, and you brought up an amazing, brilliant point here. If we look at some of these kids that were born, into, poverty or whatever, but they have that nurturing behind them. I mean, that's where we're getting our basketball players, our football players, our sports, our, our talented rappers and musicians and all of these things. Like, is it the nurturing? But then you've got these kids, and this is where my point was going, is I have a lot of friends who, especially now, autism is like the big thing, within children, disabilities, in some learning. And I do believe in that. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm not in any way saying that they don't exist, but how much are we focusing in on them? And if we're focusing in and saying to a kid, well, you've got autism, you've got this, you've got that, you've got this, you've got that, what are we taking away from their natural ability? I mean, if we look back 50 years, we never heard of the word autism. I mean, the kid was just odd. I probably would have been autistic because like, who knows what, I mean, I was always doing something, and I was one of those kids that didn't need to read instructions on anything. It's like, I could see a big pile of junk, like if I was putting together, a Barbie house or whatever, and people are like sitting there trying to, look at the instructions. And I see it in my head, how it's supposed to be built. And I can even do that with IKEA furniture. So I still do that. You know what I mean? So I don't need the instructions. I just see how it's supposed to go. I see how things are supposed to be put together. And
That's
I do
so
it.
Aquarius. That's
right.
so Aquarius. Aquarians have the best minds to map.
Yeah,
they really do.
It's like, yeah, you got all of this energy going on, right? Right. So would I have been deemed autistic back 50 years ago? Probably, or, or like if I was now, would it be, something else, right? And I kind of wonder how much we're nurturing that part as opposed to just looking at the kids. And it doesn't mean that the kids don't need support or they don't need help, or trying to find, specific, I guess, engines for them to, have that help moving forward. But how much are we focusing in on those, I guess, disabilities as opposed to these being, just the beautiful insights that these children are creating for themselves?
Yes. And as you're saying this, see, you're triggering something in me now too, this vision, this idea, this concept, and that what we're coming to, the major precipice, the climax, the transitional point is, I think humanity is coming to this ultimate decision of, are we going to honor that sense of individuality, or are we going to try to keep forcing people into these boxes. of quote unquote normalcy, right? Like, oh, your kid, they do too much, with their brain, and they can't focus on one specific thing, but they're focusing on 7 different things at once. Should we medicate them, or do we honor them? Your child has autism, so they don't have social awareness. So, should we, medicate them or do something with them, or do we cater to them? It's like we're not honoring the children being born now, and we're trying to fit them into molds that we had constructed many years ago.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think that's what we're about to hit. I think that's the precipice we're about to hit is, are we going to honor the individual and how they are and let the world shape around that? Or are we going to keep pushing our own narrative of the world and then imposing that on the people that are being brought into it? Yeah. I think we're going to hit that climax here very, very soon with everything that's about to come up.
It's interesting you say that, because again, I'm just gonna I don't mean to make this a show about my kid by any means, but what you said was very true, putting them into a box. And here's my kid with computers, like, could do anything, like I said, at this young age, but socially, there was an issue because he saw things as a specific way. He was like, that's not cool. No, you don't behave this way, or you don't do that, or whatever it was. Like, it just a lot of things didn't make sense to him. But in the same degree, like for him, I mean, he stopped believing in Santa at like 5 because he couldn't see the concept behind it. He didn't make any sense to him why somebody comes down a freaking chimney, and he didn't like some guy watching him while he slept. He thought that was really super creepy. But, even with other kids, wanting to play with him at young ages, and they'd be like, let's play Spider-Man, or let's play, Superman. He's like, Yeah, you know that doesn't exist, right? Like you cannot, that's not like, there's no logical meaning behind that. So why would I even participate in something like that? But to other people or other kids, that would be weird. That would be odd. That would be, and there's so many people that are out there that are seeing things beyond, what our 3D reality, is. And they're looking at that and they're bringing it through and they're like, this isn't agreeable with me. And I think that that's okay.
I think it's okay. I think we need to have differences of opinions because it's what drives innovation and things kind of being in harmony or balanced. I had this vision the other day, Kathy, and I was thinking about, what's happening here in the United States and, it's affecting the world. It's happening other places of the world. We have two political parties that are in extreme opposition with each other right now, right? And I was seeing this. Okay, so follow my vision if you can for a second.
I'm going to follow it.
I was seeing this vision as like okay, so you have one side and another, and you have the right and the left, right? And they're facing each other, okay? So I thought about it, and it's like, we should be having, it almost is in like a circle, and we should be, if I were, or somebody were to be like, oh, I'm in the middle of both parties, I don't really adhere or subscribe to one or the other, but I feel certain ways about this, I feel certain ways about that, etc. Right now, we have the middle currently being the both oppositions. So they're face to face on opposition, whereas the people who feel like they're in the middle are all the way in the back or the outer parts of the party. And what we need to do is flip that and have the main focus on the middle of the people who are in the middle, who are completely split. Those are the voices that we should be listening to right now, not the extreme voices from one side or the other.
Because those are going to be the voices of logic.
Exactly. They're not, they
and
need
intuition.
To have a picture of both sides, in their brain, and those are the people we should be hearing from or focused on. The opposition is, the focus is in the wrong place. The focus is on the opposition and not the similarities, and the question. It was brought to me because I felt bad because of myself being in the middle. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I just some wishy-washy, spiritual whatever who can't make a decision? And I'm like, no, that is not the case. I'm sitting in a moment of balance. I'm sitting in between these lines, trying to represent or understand both. And those are the voices that we should be, highlighting and listening to. Our voices similar, to where my perspective is. I'm not saying that my voice is the one to be listened to. I don't have that much ego, but if I am speaking, it's not for my health. I'll tell you that.
I love what Polly actually just said. Instead of being two opposing circles, we need to become more of an infinity symbol.
Yeah.
What a beautiful statement. That was 100%. Like it was like you kind of just nailed it exactly, like taking exactly what you just said, Brandon, and turning it into a symbol. Like how beautiful is that? Like that is consciousness working together right there. That's what balance is. That's harmony. That's the shift that has to happen. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I know that this week, I don't remember any of them particularly. I know I've been having some pretty crazy dreams. You were saying to me earlier that you had one. I'd love to hear it if you feel like sharing it or if you remember it.
Yeah, there are only bits and pieces of it, but the dream that I had yesterday, it had this really beautiful, well, I guess last night, this morning, had a really beautiful sense of calmness, of security. And it was interesting because outside of like wherever I was, my own realm, there was chaos around. But for me particularly, and whom I was surrounded by, the energy was like really, really good. But then all of a sudden where I was, the building that I was, it seems like it was some sense of a home, or maybe homestead or temporary home for whatever was happening with this chaos. And there were celebrities who were like in my building. And there was some that, I don't really particularly like. And I just remember seeing like their faces and them being incredibly sad and worried and panicked and scared and nervous. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, there's something really shady about these people right now. And I feel like, I don't know what that's really speaking on, if it's speaking on some things in my own consciousness, or if it is more predictive and precognitive that the normies and the celebs are going to be at the same level, and that the quote unquote norms, the normies, people like us, non-celebrity, are going to start to be either more confident or have more power, quote unquote, and that these celebrities might start panicking and freaking out, that they're, they don't have everything that they feel like they had. They don't have that power because they're not receiving that energy anymore, Yeah. And I think that things are going to flip on a head. I think we're going to start seeing more people like philosophers, spiritualists, missioners or missionaries become more celebrity than these people who can either look good or, make others laugh by rude comments, things like that. I think we're going to see a shift in the celebrity that comes out.
It's interesting. I believe fully that what you were just saying. I do feel that a lot of there's going to be a lot more. It's not going to be so much that hero worship anymore that maybe we used to have. But the other
idols.
Right. But the other thing that I was feeling as you were talking, it was interesting because I just kept getting these insights of what you were saying. And I feel like a lot of this releasing that a lot of people are going through too is it's almost as though false narratives are being brought up to the surface. And so when you're talking about the celebrities being scared, it's almost as though, to get to that level of fame, there's not been a lot of people that have, there has been some that have been genuine, authentic, vulnerable, all of that, right? But most of it is, like you said, it's the beauty, it's the bodies, it's the whatever it is. There's a lot of false persona going on within that.
Yes.
And I feel like people it was like I was saying about me releasing it, throughout this week, there's been a lot of narratives or perhaps whatever it has been within myself that maybe I felt were like a true thought. And then you go back in and you're like, well, okay, maybe there was aspects that were true or whatever, but at the same degree, and this has been going on for a couple of weeks, but at the same time, when you're taking that different perspective, it's releasing those faults. And it doesn't mean anybody's lied or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But we do have a different perspective on things. We look at things from that point of ego, as opposed to looking at it perhaps from somebody else's view, or what somebody's situation was at the time, or perhaps how they had to handle something within their own, their own realm at that moment, or whatever it was. And so basically what it is, it's like releasing those false narratives that we tend to tell ourselves. And I do feel that, going into 2021, I do feel that there's going to be a lot more spiritual leaders and stuff like that. But, we talked about this last week. We do have to be careful and, again, follow our own intuition, because of the fact that, there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be spewing, and excuse my language, I can't say it too much, but the BS that's going to be out there, and we have to be really careful. And if something isn't resonating with you, it is just not resonating. And it doesn't mean that you need to make it fit in order to have it resonate for you. Follow your own gut. Why are you changing things? Why are you trying to make yourself fit when it's just not fitting? And
right. And resonating doesn't necessarily mean positive either, by the way, for those that are
100%.
listening.
Absolutely.
Resonating, it's something where you feel affected in some way, and usually it can be positive or negative depending on your own beliefs or what you kind of have going on within your own perspective. But sometimes if something resonates and it's hitting you in like a negative way, but you feel impacted by it, it's like, oh, okay, this is probably something I have to work through. Just because it's not negative doesn't mean you need to try it. Or I'm sorry, not positive doesn't mean you need to try and cut it out or get rid of it. Like, oh, this is, not good for me, blah, blah, blah.
Right. 100%. Yeah, that's exactly it. It just feels like there's a lot of things that we may have to take a few moments and examine.
Yes.
Rather than just rushing in and making a judgment.
Exactly.
Yeah. And yeah.
Well, hopefully people are continuing to sharpen and open up that intuition. I know I've talked to a few people, and I specifically cater it to who I'm talking to about what I feel like they should be focusing on or doing. Like one person I spoke with lately, I was like, yeah, you really need to focus on out-of-body stuff. Like it is absolutely essential for you to be doing this, but it's going to be different for everybody. So I feel like if those that are in the room, and when we open up the reading list here, if you are interested in me looking at your chart to see where this great conjunction is happening in your chart and how it may affect you, I'd be more than happy to do that for your question for this reading this week, since it is about to happen in a couple days.
That would be
amazing. Some of you might be interested to see. So if you do want to look at that on your natal chart and where the conjunction will be happening, you'll have to give me your birth date, your birth location, and if you want it very descriptive, your birth time. You'll have to send that in the chat. I don't think we can do a private message if you feel.
I'm not sure if we have the ability on here to do that in private message. They might have to.
I think so.
Yeah. They might have to, put it into the chat. As long as people are okay with that, I think that's beautiful and amazing. I might even get you to look at mine too at some point.
Yeah,
I'm really curious, especially with having all of that Pisces and then the Aquarius coming through as well. I love what Cathryn just said. If it smells like crap, it probably is. And but we try to justify stuff, right? We try to justify it and change it. And that's what we have to remove. We do have to remove that, that element from it, right? We have to take a look at it.
We could use yours as an example to show people what it would be like.
Oh, sure. Okay, let's do that. If you guys are okay with that, if you guys don't, if I start crying or bawling because he said something negative, you'll know. All of a sudden I disappear. I'm just teasing.
All right, let's see. So we'll do the 21st of December. And I know I have your chart in here. Right there. There it is. I flipped right to it.
Nice.
It's like I was supposed to do it. All right. So for example, so Kathy, in your charts, you have obviously your sun in Aquarius. It's looking like this great conjunction is going to happen in your second house. It doesn't look like it's making too many aspects to anything. I think it's okay. So it might be trining your Mars there. So you're definitely likely to feel extra motivated, like extra excess energy, like taking action, movements, etc. So this would definitely be a good time to
that.
Do physical things. If you have some physical things to do, or if you like running, which I don't know what crazy person likes running, but some people do. I'm kidding. I'm not calling you crazy. Just, out your damn minds. I don't know. I hate running. I used to run in track, but for whatever reason, it kills my body. I'm more likely to do elliptical or stuff like that.
I like yoga.
Running, I love yoga. Kundalini yoga is like the ish. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's also happening in your second house. So that means that you're going to see some kind of change within your own finances. your own sense of value, what you find valuable is going to be strongly highlighted at that time. It's also looking like it might maybe make a trine to your north node. So for you in particular, if it does, you're going to find this very strong sense of either will or focus on your personal destiny, like your life's mission or path or work. There's going to be this kind of draw or new understanding for how you feel this mission in your life, is to kind of keep moving forward. So I think it's going to be interesting. You also have Uranus, and it's like right conjunct your north node. There's probably some major revolutions happening within your mind about your purpose and about your mission.
I already see that stuff coming through.
Or reach people. Yeah. Oh, I bet you are.
Yeah.
I absolutely bet. And then Mars is going to conjunct that like in about a month. That's going to come conjunct your north node as well. So you're definitely going to have a lot of energy over these next 2 months for sure.
That I love.
Lots and lots of energy.
Because that is needed. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. Yeah, I've actually been feeling that, looking ahead and just making plans and all of this stuff and going on. And my head is busy. Now I need my body to get busy.
Mm-hmm. Now it's going to catch up. There you go.
I hope so. I'd be okay with it's not my brain shutting down particularly, but enough, because and being Aquarius, it's like a train track of, it's like of just electrical currents of
thunderstorm
in my head all the time. And you gotta, follow the trail. Okay, where's that leading to? Oh, there's something solid. Okay, let's go with that.
Oh, look, another lightning strike.
Yeah, boom, blows that up. And off
that's such a beautiful analogy, considering the brain works on electrical impulses.
It's
such a beautiful analogy. I love that.
And it's funny because when you know what you want, you know what you want. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so you've got stable points. Like it's not like it's not like you don't know what you want. You know what you want, but at the same degree, you might have 800 different ideas of how to get there. And it's like, oh, which path am I going to follow? Like that, So, there's my head, right in a nutshell. So, oh my God. Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that.
My pleasure.
So I'm thinking maybe we should open up the reading list. And
so I think we want to, hang on. First, before we open the list to everybody else, if we want to do the list from last week first.
Yeah, let's do that.
Connect with those people.
Okay.
So I'm just typing in the chat here that if they still want to ask the same question, they can, or if they want to change it to do so now.
Yeah.
Then we'll open
especially
up
if
the
they want to get their chart
else.
looked into, because we don't want to, I think we should keep it at either one or the other, simply because otherwise it'll be too long and we won't be able to get to everybody. So it'll be like, if you want, us to look into a specific question, we can definitely do that. Or if you want Brandon to look into your chart, I'm going to tell you guys, if you have this opportunity now that Brandon is giving this opportunity, take it, because Brandon and I have been close friends for a while now, and there's very, very few people that I trust. And I think it's the same with Brandon. There's very few people, that, you have that trust with in regards to having insight. For me, Brandon is like on that list, and I believe I am for him too. And it, and being able to have somebody like him as one of my close friends, I can't even tell. Oh God, I'm going to cry. So I'm not going to do that, because Brandon already knows how I feel. He knows he's one of my, my soul, friendships, kinships, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you guys have this opportunity, absolutely, I would really suggest taking it. Like if you can, if you wish. So yeah. All right.
All right, perfect. All right, so okay, let me just reiterate here for the chat. So this current reading list is only for the people from last week.
Right. And then we're going to...
I'm glad you're asking questions, but I'm going to have to wait till we open it to everybody else to give everyone a fair chance. So I do see you in there wanting the chart readings, etc. But we'll ask again, and that'll be the list that we're taking once we open the reading to everyone else. So last week's readings first. Jenna is not here, it doesn't seem.
Okay.
So we're going to go to Denise.
Okay.
HK, I believe, is here. Lala is here, and I believe William is here.
Okay.
So let's go to Denise first. If Jenna pops in, we can throw her on the list there real quick. But we'll start with who's here. So HK, let's see, HK, Lala, and William, if you could sound off in the chat for me, just to acknowledge that y'all are next. And then if you want to keep your question or do the little chart reading. William wants the chart. Denise wants her regular question. HK and Lala, you'll have to let me know what you want here.
What is so first, Denise's question?
Denise, can I get an update on Kevin and I?
Yes. Okay, Denise, so I'm gonna veer away from that for a minute. I will get to you and Kevin in a second. But what I have been feeling since I saw your name in the chat when I first logged on, you girl are you're exploding spiritually. That's what I feel. And this is a really positive thing. It's almost, I don't know if you are experiencing this at the moment or you're about to experience it. Like I'm at that place where I'm like, as soon as we log off, like this is hitting you if it's not hitting you now. And it just feels as though spiritually you are advancing, ascending, you are evolving. You are like, honey, I say this in the nicest way. I feel like you already know with Kevin. And what I'm getting here is things are, I feel like a working in progress is coming through. Like I almost want to say like 8 of Pentacles energy, where things are working towards where it is that you need to go. I almost feel like a sense of magic coming through. I don't want to say spell work or anything like that. I don't mean it in that way. Not like you're physically doing spells, but I feel like emotionally, spiritually, emotionally, you're drawing this in. And I feel like it's, I feel like there's a cusp. I keep hearing the word March, and I don't know what March has to do with anything. I don't know if this is where, things are really going to, be able to truly come together, because I feel like it's before that, but I feel like there's an importance having to do with March, but I'm not 100% sure what exactly that is. It almost feels as though, like when I look at March, okay, I keep hearing it, and what I keep seeing, it's almost like, you've taken pieces of, let's say, like a ball, and it's all just come together and it's formed like the world card is what I want to say. Like it's come to a point of being a whole rather than just fragments or pieces. And that's what I keep feeling and seeing. So I feel like whatever it is that you're doing, again, spiritually or emotionally, or maybe this is something that you need to start doing, is putting that in, but it almost feels as though that energy is already there. And this is what I keep getting. Hearing March. Oh, okay. You've been hearing March in your head a lot too. Yeah, go with that, because I feel like the work that you're doing now is going to appear in March. I feel it sooner. Okay. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be, that evolution between now and March, but I feel like there's like I said, it's like I see the world, the world tarot card coming through, which is like that conclusion. It's like you've let all of these past things go. You've taken all those fragments and turned it into something tangible and solid, and the both of you have, it's like two halves coming together. That's what I keep feeling. So I hope that that's helped.
I'll have to resound on that a little bit, because I do feel like there is this energy. It feels quite strong of like needing or wanting to merge to create that bond. It feels like it's being held back currently. And when I ask Spirit about this energy of it being held back or repressed, they just keep showing me that there's like too much talk of change right now. Too much is kind of changing internally. And so that's why it has to be held back. So I can totally see why, you know, in March, that would be more of a union moment than now, just because of all that change being shown to me happening now. So
yeah, it
totally makes sense.
100, yeah, like it's almost like what you're going through right now. This, like I said, that ascending, that evolving, that it's like some sort of spiritual lift is what I keep getting. It feels like this is important, almost like on an individual basis. Maybe not only for you, but perhaps for Kevin as well. Which, as Brandon said, it, you know, it could, that could be like the blockage in some degree. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Good.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So I hope that that's helped, honey. But keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. Your spiritual energy has been hitting me ever since I saw you on chat, and that says a lot. So it's a positive thing, right? It's a very positive thing, because if it wasn't, anybody who knows me knows that I would just spit that out. I would be honest about that. What I keep feeling from you is it's like this positive, beautiful vibration that's coming through. Yeah, you're definitely growing, Denise. Yes, absolutely. That is what is happening. And I feel that needs to be allowed almost first. I get yeah.
You know, I find that happens often with people who are quite strong spiritually.
Yes.
They have to, they can't negate their own path or their own growth, their own movements or definition.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, you know, spiritual people have a strong sense of empathy and compassion for others, and they can link on to somebody and they're like, oh, but I care so much about them. Like, I'm totally willing to negate my own growth. And then all of a sudden, you know, they're forced to go backwards anyways. So it's like she feels ahead of that curve at this moment.
Yes.
And it's like she knows that she's to focus on herself.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, we all long to connect. That's just as a natural human component. And I think if you don't, you know, if you're not putting the cart before the horse, I think you're going to be in good standing.
Yes. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Denise. So we're going to go to HK here.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm reading these comments. You have a fan club. I love that.
That's so sweet. Maybe I should get back on camera. Huh?
Right? See, here's the thing, guys. So I've been suggesting to Brandon that we go on camera, right? Because like we actually found a way so that it's not so screwy like it was last time. We'll have to try it out, which we might do, soon. But I've been telling him, come on camera, come on. People need to see you too, right? And he's like, I don't know.
Well, Saturday is like my day where I can stay in my PJs a little bit longer. I always just feel so comfy. I am a Taurus at heart. My goodness, I can be so stubborn and bullish sometimes.
Oh, I know. That's okay though. That's okay. I think if we rally together, we can get Brandon onto camera, right? Yay!
Yeah,
we'll have this like universal clap, right? Just need to see everybody clapping. Yeah.
That would definitely push me. Absolutely.
So funny.
Well, I appreciate it all. Thank you. All right, so let's go to HK here. HK wants to keep the same question and is asking, would love an energy update between me and M. Me, Capricorn, M is Aries. Thank you.
Okay. Has there been contact? Because it almost feels as though last time I had felt a wall, kind of between the two of you. And it felt like he was in this brooding, moping, energy where it's interesting because I feel almost like he's standing up. I don't know how to explain that. But again, here you are. Here's that wall. And because of the fact that I feel like you stopped pushing, it almost feels as though you're in your own energy, your own power, more like you're kind of just in this, yeah, I'm good. It's coming through. Like it's a more positive feeling rather than trying to push it. I almost feel it's like I see him standing up, which is way better than that pouting energy that I had felt before, where he was like that, child sitting on the other side of the wall, moping and pouting and stuff like that. I feel like whatever energy you've been putting towards him, or removing, I guess, to some degree, but it feels as though like the energy that is going towards him has been more positive. It's been more fulfilling. Like I said, I feel him standing up. It almost feels as though it's a hesitating standing up. It's like somebody who's been sitting a long time, and then they have, okay, well, maybe it's just me because I'm not 20 anymore. Right? When you start to stand up, it's like, okay, I can do this. Like, I can do this. I'm getting there. I'm getting up. And that's what I keep feeling. It feels as though things are starting to progress. For me, this is why I asked about contact, because it almost feels as though there is a reaching out. Now, I don't know if this is energetically, or if this is going to be, on that actual material plane, but it feels as though this strength is coming through from him. He's in a much better place emotionally, physically, spiritually than he even was like a week or so ago. And I almost feel it's like the end of a cycle, this end of a cycle coming through, which is beautiful and positive simply because he's not in that negative mind frame as much. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he comes through. What I feel, even if he doesn't, what I do get is to stay this path, because he's starting to rise, and he feels that energy that is coming from you. So I hope that helps. Do you have anything? Did you get anything from that?
When I was connecting with HK and M here, the one thing that Spirit keeps showing me is that they're kind of showing me this very broad energy, and they're showing me that they're currently connected by this thread of psychic or intuitive energy. And they keep highlighting the basis of this connection being a friendship. I'm not sure if that's certain, HK, but they just keep highlighting this foundation of the bond and how it's getting a lot of important focus and attention right now. And I think that this is something that is ultimately serving the connection or relationship as a whole, to remember the foundation and to know that you are psychically connected. If for whatever reason, Spirit just keeps showing me that this is what needs to be remembered right now. For whatever is coming through, in the future, they keep showing me, remember that you are connected on other realms.
And I have told HK that exact same thing. Like it's her energy does help create him, or help heal, help. It's almost as though what she's putting the energy in, he's receiving. What he's getting, she can receive. So I do feel like that energy staying in that high positive vibe as much as you can. And I remember, I think I gave you some exercises at one point too, and to keep focusing in on those, keep working on those, simply because of the fact that I do feel that they are affecting him, and they are helping to change that vibration that he was in last time. Yeah. What Brandon was saying about the friendship, I don't feel it's just a friendship, but that might be the basis.
No.
It's like a base, like it's like the foundation.
Yeah.
Like the foundation needs to start, and through that psychic connection, you're starting to build that too. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it just feels important. That's why they keep being, it's like pinging at me right now that this is like what needs to be remembered or focused
especially
on.
When he comes through. Especially when he does come through, it's like don't head right toward a relationship. It's like build the foundation of the friendship. Maybe that's what you're kind of getting.
Yeah, it's whenever we build relationships, I think so many people think it's like, oh, they're instantly my lover. But really, if you want things that last through time, then you have to take time to invest into it, right? You have to let time work with you and build things up versus just jumping into something, and getting crazy with it.
I want to clarify something, not just for HK, in general. So, especially when we're talking about, spiritual relationships in some way, a lot of people get confused. When we say we have to build a friendship, this does not mean, and I'm going to make this very specific, like make this very clear. This does not mean that you have to be their best buddy and listen to them talk about other men or other women and be there to soothe them. Okay, we've got our friends for that. So whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be pampering and allow bad behavior from them if you're trying to build a relationship. When we're trying to develop a relationship with somebody, you can be their friend and you want to be with your best friend, obviously. But there's been so many people that I've seen, and I think we talked about this last week. There's been so many people that allow bad behavior because there's a friendship. And so it's like, I like this person. We have this connection. We're building up this spiritual bond between each other. We can see this relationship going forward, but he's sleeping with every dog, every girl, or she's doing this with everybody else. And and they're telling me all about it. But I'm trying to be nice with them. Screw that. Sorry, but there's that line. Okay. And, you don't, if you want to end up in the friend zone, that's where that friend zone is. You're not there to be there. Oh, it's okay. Everything you do is wonderful. No. Because if you want a true relationship with somebody, you have to not be scared to say that behavior or that action was complete bullshit. Right? Because otherwise that's not a true relationship. Or you have to be able to say, look, this is not acceptable for my energy. This is not where my energy is. This is, whatever it is. You can also say, look, what? This resonates with me. I understand where you're coming from this, but here's the thing is be honest and be true. If somebody is, out sleeping with everybody else and coming to you, oh, they did this and they did that, and you're trying to have a relationship, cut that shit off. Sorry, but that you are not a sounding board unless you want to stay in that friendship zone. That's crap. And that's no. Get rid of that. Mm-hmm. Right. And I just wanted to clarify that. So when we talk about friendship, it's really talking about being there, being supportive, but also, here's the thing with friendship. A true friend is going to call you out on your crap. Right? And that's exactly what a true relationship is in any form. You can't be scared to say, look, this is not okay. Or, maybe, this is whatever it is. Or to say, yes, I completely and 100% support you behind this because of who you are. I'm standing behind you. That is a friendship. But that friendship builds into a true relationship. And that's exactly, how many times do we hear about people that are scared to say something to their spouse or their partner because they might not be agreeable with it? Well, why do you want to be with somebody like that? I want to be able to have that relationship where I can spew out anything, and they might think I'm kind of nuts for 5 minutes, but they understand where I'm coming from, and the same with them. I want them to be able to say, hey, blah, 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 blah. and be like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, or I'm going to call you out on your crap or whatever it is. So that's what we're trying, that when we talk about that, I just wanted to clarify that. Okay. BS is not okay. Just saying.
Never okay.
Never okay. Never okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you did. Let's see. So, okay, Lala, okay, is here. Lala is saying that they do not remember the question. Okay, Lala, so you had asked, what is coming for me in love? You said love reading. Thank you. If you still want that question, we can do that. Or if you wanted to do the little great conjunction astrology thing that we're doing, you can do that too. I'll just need your birth info. But you can choose if you want to keep that question or if you want a new one this week. So go ahead and type that in the chat here.
Yeah. And Lala, I would just need some more of your information too, in regards to what's coming forward, like more specific details. Like, are you with somebody? Is there a specific person? All of that. Like, just kind of give me a general outtake of what it is that we're looking at Okay.
All right, just so everybody knows in the chat, the list is not open yet. We are taking people that we had not gotten to last week. So if you've typed a question and you are not on the list yet, we do this way so we can give everybody a fair chance to get a reading. That's why we officially open the list, so that everybody can send it at once, and then that is essentially the list and the way that it's received. So if you did type in your info or your birth date or your question, there's no official list that you've gotten onto yet. So we're just waiting for Lala to clarify what question they would like. In the meantime, while we wait, let's go to William here, because he wants to do a chart reading.
Okay, sounds good.
Ironically, his question last week was, how does the end of the year look for me? So I think that kind of coincides here.
Okay, perfect.
So I'll let you connect with that while I look at William's chart. So we've got your chart pulled up here, William. Let's see. So this great conjunction, since we don't have the birth time, what that does leave out is the house system. If you're more in tune with astrology or know more about it, the house system is just another layer of information that kind of comes about when we look at our chart. It gives us our ascendant, our rising sign, our midheaven, all that. But without the time, we don't get that. So what I can see, though, is everything else in the chart, where all the planets are and where they will be at the moment of that transit. So for you, William, this transit looks like it is happening not near any of your other planets. You don't have any other planets in Aquarius, but it does look like it's making a few trines and squares in your chart. So what I'm seeing here is that this is likely, this conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn is going to hit you generationally. It looks like it is making some kind of square to Pluto. Pluto being a generational planet just because it moves quite slow. You have Pluto and Scorpio like I do, and many of the other people who were born around the same time. It also looks like it's going to be hitting, it might hit your sun and your north node. But what's so interesting about your chart, William, even just looking at your natal chart, you have the sun and the north node like directly conjunct. And I want to say this, who you are is who you are supposed to be and to evolve into. Now, I know that might sound a little obvious, but that's not always the case for everybody. Some people, their motor and how they operate, it differs from who they're supposed to aspire to be in this lifetime. But for you, William, your motor and your path are one and the same. They're directly conjunct. So it's like you get to literally be yourself in this lifetime, and you get to operate of your own motors, your own instincts. And with that Taurus energy, it's like you get to steadily move along. I bet it's felt like it probably feels like in your lifetime, it feels like things are taking a while for them to grow or move or get into the place that you want things to. But trust me when I tell you is that when you hit upon any truth in your life, I mean, that is just going to be something you can literally take to the bank, and kind of reside within and rest on for a while. The other thing that I see here is that it might make let's see, you've got Chiron over your Mercury right now, which means that your communication could be a little bit challenging, to say the least. And this great conjunction could make a square to your Mercury. So definitely just be conscious and focus on the words that are being projected out from you, but also your thoughts. I'd really take a good detailed account of what's happening within your mind and your thoughts. And maybe you can ask Kathy about this, or she can chime in about how important thoughts are as far as the things that you attract or the things that you bring into your life. It looks like this is going to be a pretty important threshold for you to maintain the thoughts and a good thought pattern. I'd really focus on thoughts of growth for your own self and what you really want to be able to see in your life. Plant these seeds now on the 21st of how you want your brain to maintain itself. You know, what programs in the brain do you want to write, and what do you want to have repeated over and over? Use that as a tool, for your quote unquote operating system, that you set in a program and then you let it do its thing. You let the subconscious just do its thing.
It's interesting that you were talking about thoughts, because the first thing I kept feeling with you, William, is I kept hearing the word consciousness. And you'd asked about the end of the year. And I was like, what? Okay, what does this have to do with? It doesn't make any, sometimes you have to kind of form the image around the word that I kept hearing. And then as Brandon, right near the end there, I was like, oh, well, I get it now. I understand. And Brandon was 100% spot on. This consciousness, it feels as though, okay, so the first thing I actually feel is that you have amazing manifestation technique power, okay? Whether or not you've used those techniques or that power that I keep coming, that keeps coming up for me right now, I don't know. It may have manifested in some ways. It's like I'm thinking negatively and then more negative things happen, or I'm thinking positively and I'm feeling more positive things happen, but it feels as though you have this manifestation ability, and it's a little bit stronger than the average bear, okay, is what I keep getting. So I feel as though mixed with what Brandon had just said and the words that keep coming up to me, it's like a message from spirit basically saying, look, coming into this end of the year is going to be extremely strong for you. Make sure that you're not going down some sort of wind tunnel of, depressive thoughts or negative, connotations or anything like that. It feels as though this is the time to really raise yourself up. I almost feel as though meditation, I always, when people say meditation, I'm going to be honest, I've explained how my brain works. So, I mean, it's like a train crash with electrical output. So for me to meditate is really difficult because, right? But a guided meditation would be amazing for you, because it is something for you to have that focus on as you're going through this process. But I do feel as though your conscious thoughts, it's like this is the time to really write out what it is that you're wanting, what it is that you're needing, what it is that you're desiring at this time, and maybe even somehow make a mantra of it. Okay. I'm just reading what you just said. Yes, if I bring positive thoughts, right? That's exactly. So because I keep getting, it's almost like this magician energy coming through, and being that magician, being that, it's like I have all the tools. What am I going to create? But at the same time, if you're in a place of wanting to trying to create negative thoughts, not that you want to, but they keep popping up, that's what's appearing. So I feel like it might take some work, but I do feel that you absolutely need to go into this strong sense of a higher consciousness in order to bring and pull through those positive things. And like I said, maybe create a list, make it into a mantra, something along that line. Guided meditation would make a difference for you. So I hope that that's helped.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, I think that's a good reminder for all of us, right? What seeds are we planting? AKA, what thoughts are we having in our brain, and how are they going to be?
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to be manifesting, in our perspective or our reality?
Like I said, having that list is not such a bad idea. Even if you run through it, and we've talked about this before, it really only takes 17 seconds, throughout the day. Like all in total, I believe it's something like a minute and a half that brings about your manifestation, what it is that you're desiring, what it is that you're seeking. But you can divide this up, right? If you can go into like 15 minutes or 15 seconds or 17 seconds at a time, that may help. Concentrate on your list as much as you can every day. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So I am looking up Lala's chart here. And so Lala had given information in the chat, that extra information they were asking for if you didn't see it yet. So Lala said, I am single right now. I was dating Sagittarius for 3 months and he ghosted me back in October. So I think Lala is wanting to know what is coming for me in love.
Did she put his name? I think she did.
She said that she was dating somebody, a Sagittarius, for 3 months, okay. But he ghosted her in October.
Okay. Lala, okay, I'm going to tell you what I get. I almost feel like there was a, I'm getting a really overwhelming sense of energy towards this relationship. So it almost feels as though there might have been a push, maybe perhaps from your side. I'm really feeling him kind of closed down at this moment. I really am. I don't even know if this is just towards you. I do feel like this is an overwhelming energy cycle that he's going through at this time. I do feel this opening up. I don't feel, but I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that he ghosted you, I'm not getting a positive vibe about this, almost within his own personality. I think I'm going to be honest, just on I think ghosting is like the most immature behavior that somebody can, project, because we're all adults, like unless you're 12, that's just my view on stuff. But at the same degree, it almost feels as though this guy needs some more mature energy coming through. I feel like an apology coming through. I do feel an apology coming through, but I don't feel it's going to be immediately. And I feel like you need to be a little bit careful about that apology that's coming through, that it needs to be coming from an actual genuine place, because it almost feels as though he might throw an apology out just to receive some sort of validation for his own behavior. And I feel like that needs to be careful. Yeah, it is very childish, but that's what I'm getting. So if he comes through, or like, I don't want to say if, because I do feel him coming through with this. I don't think it's going to be right away though. This might take a little bit longer, like going into the new year. I could be wrong. It could be before, but that's what I'm feeling at this moment. But what I'm getting here is like when he does come through, there can't be this complete. It doesn't mean that you can't forgive spiritually or emotionally, but don't give him that satisfaction at this point, simply because that was very immature. And I feel like if he can get away with it, it's going to repeat. Like, because I just keep seeing like wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, and nobody wants to get caught into that crap. And that's what I feel that he could bring through. So, you know, you can say, I accept your apology, or, hey, nice to hear from you, but let him lead on this. Like, he's got to be the one that's, you know, being the grown up in all of this, right? You're already there in that grown up energy. And I feel like you're very open with your energy. You to some degree, there's a sense of vulnerability with you, but he can take advantage of that, is what I get. So that's what I'm feeling currently. I hope that that's helped.
My goodness, I don't know why my astrology software will not recognize Limby in Cameroon. I'm having a hard time pulling this chart up here.
Did she want you to look into that too?
She had put her information and that date of birth here, but it's just not, it is not coming up. I mean, I have Cameroon here, but it is just not working. I'm trying to even do like a city that's close. Well, in the world, they gotta get it together. Like, I pay for this. They gotta, work it out. So I'll have to figure out. I don't want to hold up the rest of the list here.
Lala's just saying, I don't want to hear I have moved on. I'm not sure what she's saying about that. Like, if that has to do with the chart, or
I think Lala.
I want to know what's in my future and my past. Oh, and I'm not. Oh, okay. He's in my past, and I'm not looking back. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Like,
yeah.
I do feel like there's better. There's better than this person. Like I said, I just feel like him taking advantage of who you are, you know, your beautiful energy, right? So I don't know. Maybe that's something that Brandon could look into quickly, is with his chart, is something coming up in the future. Like, what do you see?
Well, when I'm just connected with Lala, I'm not able to open up this chart for whatever reason. It's not letting me put in, I don't know if it's Limba, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's only bringing up Malawi, which is weird, and I can see it on the map that there's Limby, Cameroon, but we'll have to do a chart reading another time with you, Lala. But when I'm connected here with you, and what I'm being shown as far as what's coming in love, you definitely have lots of psychic energy within you. I can feel it within the brain, and what Spirit keeps showing me is that this is actually what is going to be drawn to you, is a psychic connection. They keep showing me there's a lot of sensuality that really opens up. And I feel like in the past, you have given of yourself in a way that allowed you to receive less pleasurable interaction. And now it feels like you're finally going to be aligned with somebody who is more in tune or in sync with you. Spirit keeps showing me emotional communication. And I feel like this is something you might not have had in the past with lovers, partners, etc. That people didn't either know how, or they wouldn't communicate fully or something. And it just seemed like it was off. But they keep showing me that you are going to be in connection with somebody that does have this ability, who you understand and see one another on multiple levels. So I feel like this time, this whole conjunction, everything is going to, I think, serve you well, especially if you are planting these seeds within your mind of, okay, I want, somebody who is on my level, or somebody who does, communicate or understand me in this nature, because I feel like it is coming. They keep showing me that there's going to be this beautiful balance of stability and creativity and openness between you and this partner. So I do feel it's finally coming. I can almost feel in your breath or in your mind, you're like, oh my gosh, finally, like, good Lord, it's been so long, but I feel like there's finally that sense of vindication coming as far as what's happening in your love life. So keep that good energy about you right now. I think you've done well not to sacrifice your own self and what you want for your own, life or happiness, because it seems like it's finally bringing it to you. I feel like this is coming towards the beginning of next year, like within the first few months.
It's interesting. So I got two things as Brendan was talking. It feels as though you're in this place where you're finally recognizing what it is that you deserve. Like, as Brendan was saying, it's like that validation or, being able to be in that place where not only is this what you deserve, but it is, it's even stronger than that. And I'm not exactly sure how to put it into words, but it's not I don't feel this energy coming through where, sometimes when we're getting into that power, we can tend to get a little bit, and this is for men and women, we can tend to get a little bit bitchy. It's like, I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept that. You're not in that place. You're in this place where it's just recognizing bullshit all of a sudden. And you're like, oh, no, that's not cool. No, I don't like that. No, I'm not going to accept that. You're the one that has to step up now. It just exactly like Brandon was saying, I feel like somebody's coming through that is going to not only allow you to have that power, but they're going to be in that place where they're not even going to want to present that BS type of behavior towards you. The other thing I'm actually getting in regards to the Sagittarius, again, as Brandon was talking, I keep hearing April. So I feel like you might even be in a place where you're already happy, you're already, with somebody else, or you're whatever it is. And then this dude comes through. So don't like, I'm just glad when you said that you put him into the past, good, because that's exactly where he belongs at this time, because I don't feel it being a genuine outreach from him at that moment. Okay. So, keep moving forward is basically it.
Oh, good. She confirmed that for sure.
Okay, good. Good.
All right. All right, the list is now open. Let's do it, folks. Get those questions in. Get those dates of birth in. I'm going to clear the list from last week. Thank you all for letting us connect with those.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm some things. So with, like, especially for people that we haven't done readings for, if you don't know the rules, okay, I do need, because we are, these are kind of quick readings, try to give us some information in the chat in regards to your question. So if you're looking into a specific person, we need at least a first name, possibly a birth date, if at all possible. We don't look into health. We don't look into, I personally, I'm not going to tell you what your soulmate or person or anything like that looks like, simply because I do feel that takes away from the energy of what is supposed to happen, because then you're going to be looking for somebody that has dark hair and blue eyes or whatever it is, rather than the person that may come forward who may have dyed their hair blonde, or maybe they're bald. Just saying. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you when or how. I'll give you an approximate, maybe perhaps time, energy, month, that sort of thing. But I can't say, on April 10th that this is going to happen at 7:00. Okay. Like I don't work that way. Although I have done that, but I prefer not to do that. We don't want to do any third-party spying. Okay, that's not our business. How somebody else's relationship is none of your business either. That's just, my personal thing. I won't look at it. There's limits on that. Like it's, if we feel them coming forward, that's different, but I'm not going to tell you what their relationship is, about, and no health questions, please. So now that we've clarified that, maybe, sorry. And you're so welcome, Lala. I'm glad it's helped.
I'm just trying to piece together. Some people are putting information in multiple chats here, so
Okay.
it's making it a little difficult to put it all together. Is there any update while I build this list on the giveaway?
I still haven't been able to get the resin in. So
my goodness, wow.
Yeah, it's been I could get it off of Amazon, which I'm kind of debating because I've never used that particular resin before. But yeah, so we're probably looking into the new year for that one, I think, is what we'll do. We'll do one right after the new year.
All right. Just in general. Okay, so let me just make sure I have everybody here. This one is so chaotic today. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, let's start with Levity Green. So I have two messages from Levity here. Levity says, in the first, advice from Spirit about love life, but then says, I commented up there, but I wanted to change the word from advice to general, please. So, Levity, does that mean you still want to look into love life, or you just want to look at what's generally coming around you or coming up for you, again, in general? Yes, general love reading. Okay. Kathy's favorite.
Great. Yeah, I just love those general ones. Okay. So there's nobody specific that we're looking into, is that correct?
So far, that is what I have gathered.
Okay. Okay. I keep seeing why do I keep seeing a tree? It's like I literally want to say like a tree of life.
I know why.
Okay. Like I was literally seeing the tree of life coming through. So you know what this is about. Okay. Okay, you go ahead, because I'm still working on that vision. That was the first thing I saw. It was like the tree of life.
So what I keep being shown, I don't know if this person has entered your life, Levity, or not, but what Spirit keeps showing me is they're showing me a man with quite strong emotions creating a foundation in your life. They keep showing me love, but they keep showing me foundation. They keep showing me that energy of being comfortable or sturdy and stable and strong. So I think that's why Kathy was picking up on the tree here. Because
building roots.
Showing me that presence.
Building the roots.
Yes. So it looks like, I don't know if you've started this yet, Levity, but it looks like this is what you're about to enter and see in your life, is that emotional connection that is absolutely gaining foundation, gaining that stability or that strength. And I do keep being shown this open heart, which shows me there is this shared emotion. Obviously, heart is relating to love there, but it's always that shared emotion that both people are feeling the same energy or the same emotion.
Yeah, I feel like your next person coming through is not going to be a passing. Now, when I say this doesn't mean, some guy off of like, what are those dating apps? You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking the next relationship, like the next person that you can actually feel and move towards, you know, not just somebody you're randomly chatting with off of Plenty of Fish or whatever. I don't even know what the dating apps are because I don't know. I don't go on them, so I have no idea. And that was the first one that popped into my head. I don't even know if that exists anymore. But I don't feel it's like that. Like it's basically like this person, the next one that comes through, there's going to be an actual building of roots that as Brendan said, that building the foundation, you're starting to expand out. I almost feel and being shown that tree of life, it's like you guys are going to expand on some sort of ancestral, like maybe building a family together, even if you already have families, or, you know, maybe it's just continuing of a family or bringing two families together, whatever it is, whatever situation you're in. But I do feel like this expanding out. So this is beautiful. This is really positive.
Yeah, it feels pretty plain and clear. I mean, I wish I had a lot of other information to say, but it just seems so direct that I don't feel any qualms or anything that feels weirdly connected or disconnected or anything like that. It feels like it's pretty dedicated and clear that it's coming. So I'll just take solace in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Levity. Seems pretty cut and dry and easy, and I hope, I'm pretty sure it'll come into your life that way too. Pretty clear. I don't know why. I just got this impression that it feels like you, kind of similar to what we were talking about with the last reading, your energy, it feels like you deserve it. Like after all the stuff that you've been through, it feels like, oh my gosh, finally somebody that's just direct and clear. Like it feels
like it comes in so fast,
relief.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So hang on, let me address what's going on in the chat here. I'm not sure if people are upset or they're feeling ignored or what's going on. I've got a list here, y'all. I've got you on the list. Some people have retracted their information or their questions. Star, I have your question here. You're after Emily Rosa, but you did retract that information. Beauty, I've got you on the list. I'm going to update the list here in just a moment. I've got everybody. So
he's working hard, guys. Remember, you know, so like
this list today, for whatever reason, seems a little bit crazy because there's like multiple questions and multiple messages. So I'm putting it in the order they were received and then adding as I see. So I've got you all, not to worry. we've got you there. But also, you know, this is the price of free too. It's a little bit chaotic.
Yeah.
So bear with us here. We're doing.
Try to have some patience. We are working our way towards you.
All right. So next up is going to be Cathryn. All right, so Cathryn put in the birth information. Kathy, I'll let you kind of connect for a second while I type that in if you feel anything here.
What was Cathryn wanting to know?
I don't think anything specific. Cathryn just gave me the birth information in the
Okay.
morning.
Oh, maybe she wanted a chart.
Time. Yeah, so I'm typing that in right now.
Okay.
Let's see, January 3rd. Lots of Januaries today. Doesn't know the time, which is quite all right. And let's do whole world. And did she give me a place? Okay,
Cathryn, I'm actually feeling something about January. There is a okay, I'm hearing the weirdest word. I'm hearing revolution. like I want to say resolution. Maybe it's resolution. Is there something that you needed a resolution with? Because it was like I heard the word revolution, and then it was like I swear my guides kind of just went, no. Resolution. There's a resolution of some sort coming through. What is that about? Feels like a distance. This could have to do with family members. It could have to do with friends, family, something like that. There was some sort of distance. I feel like This is something that is going to be very near and dear to you. I don't know how much exactly it is going to be resolved. I feel like this is going to be a continuous work, or at least more work on, or something along that line. But it feels as though there is a resolution, somebody coming forward, people coming forward. It feels like a bond being formed again. I don't feel like this is romantic. I feel like this is something like family. This could be even children. It could be something along that line. But like, this is something piercing within the heart is what I keep getting. Like it's almost like like I said, it feels ancestral in some manner. So I hope that makes sense. This is what I feel coming through going into January. I don't know exactly around what time in January. It feels like that even could be the start of the energy where it starts to come through. And again, it may not be a complete resolution, but it is starting to, in some way, do a healing process of something. Okay. Oh, maybe your son's. It most certainly could be, but again, I don't feel like it's not the be all and end all of the resolution yet. Like, there is going to be work on both sides is what I'm getting. But it feels as though there's an opening towards the healing that is bringing things together. So I hope that helps. And that's what I'm getting off of my end.
So, Cathryn, when I'm looking at your chart here, you have already been through a lot, especially in the past year. Let's see, you've got Saturn, Sun, both in Capricorn. You've got Mercury, Mars, Jupiter over in Sag, Venus in Sag. You're having a Venus return right now. You're having a Mercury return right now. You're obviously about to go through your solar return. Happy early birthday. But you have already been through a lot with Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter going over all of these planets in the past at least 3 years. I mean, it's probably been like one thing after another, huge roller coaster, up and down. One thing is good, then one thing's off and good and off, and like back and forth. So this is your time where you are finally sitting in some really important definitions that you have gotten to over the past few years. And now it's like everything gets to be written into stone, what you have found that has worked. So you're not going to be negatively affected by this great conjunction. You're not going to be pushed into anything uncomfortable or weird. You're setting important definitions for the self. I do feel like your own intuition is going to be pinging or tingling in some kind of way. But it's all because of what's coming up in the next year or so when these planets go over your natal Chiron. Your wounds are going to be placed in a very important position of, did she finally learn the lessons with them, or do we have to do this again? So that's going to be coming up in probably the next year or two when these planets go over your natal Chiron. Well, Jupiter moves a lot quicker. Saturn, it'll probably be over in about a year or so. And so you're going to be revisiting some important moments of your internal wounds. If you are interested in looking that up, look up Chiron in Aquarius to figure out the places where you may feel like you need to work on. But again, that's not coming up on the 21st. You've still got a year out before you really start feeling those effects. But you're getting to skirt through this, honestly, really easy, and you get to create and set those in stone, those important definitions. With that Venus return, you're going to be pulled to focus on things that are just, beautiful or attractive, or however they feel like something resonates with you. But the Mercury thing, you've got Sun and Mercury right over your natal Mercury, and then those are going to go over Saturn, and then those are going to go over the Sun again. Communication right now is going to be really, really important for you. It'll be highlighted, and it'll also be something that kind of draws and attracts to you anything that you need, or again, whatever you feel like you want. So communication right now is a big plus. Continue communicating or networking if you can. But again, this great conjunction is really setting in stone some of the things that you've been through in the past, and have finally gotten over. And now whatever you've arrived to as far as important definitions of yourself, those will be put into stone. So it's like you come out of this like a diamond, in all honesty. It's like, okay, I've been through all that pressure already. I've done all of that. Now it's time to be solidified in my place, in my stone.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
I'm also feeling some sort of advancement monetarily, like within money, like something coming through, because I keep seeing a lot of pentacles. I keep seeing a lot of like somehow establishing for the future. I don't I don't know if this is within your book or create, but it's like you're creating, you're building a foundation. Something is, it may not be again like immediately or overnight, but it's building, it's creating, it's starting to be established. I feel like January is going to be the start of all of this. Again, I don't know if it's going to be the beginning. Somewhere in there is what I keep getting. Yeah.
All right, every day. Oh my gosh, there's another conjunction here that's happening. I didn't even see that. Neptune right over your natal moon. And we currently have moon. Well, no. On the 21st. Ooh. Cathryn, you're going to have a lunar return, which that happens, every lunar cycle because the moon moves so quickly. But you have Neptune and the moon directly conjunct your natal moon. The 21st is going to be such a beautiful day. It's going to be emotional. You're going to likely be channeling emotions. You can choose where you want to channel them from, most likely, but the realms of Neptune are a fickle friend. And sometimes things can come in that you just don't even know what they are, where they are, what's going on. So if you feel so inclined, get yourself in a meditative state that day and allow some channeling to do. So automatic writing would be a great exercise for you. Anything that just scrying would be awesome. Mm-hmm. It really is that perfect moment to do so. It's like combining Neptune and Mercury, those two planets that are majorly highlighted for you on that day, and using that to your advantage. I feel like you'll be able to channel some really cool stuff that day. So I would definitely use that to your advantage. All right. So next up, Kathy, if you're ready.
I'm just answering to Jen. So, yeah, Jen, I think we can fit you in. We're going to try. Just make sure that you are subscribed, okay? Because you do need to be subscribed in order. And I know I bring it up every week, but please people don't subscribe and unsubscribe, because it really does screw up the algorithm of YouTube. Okay, not only for me, but it can for you as well. So this is something just to be aware of. Okay, YouTube does take a look at that when people are on and off and on and off. So please stay subscribed, and I promise you won't be disappointed. Okay, put it that way. All right.
Polyfree is up next.
Okay.
Polyfree says, I feel very lost, especially when it comes to making everlasting relationships. Does Spirit have any information that may bring light as to why?
Yeah. Okay. So I do feel that you have a higher expectation of perhaps people or how you want things to go. And this isn't a bad thing. Okay. Like I don't want this to sound negative in any way. It almost feels, okay, here's the thing, Polyfree. Your heart, your spirit, your energy is open, and it's wide, and it's beautiful. And you're allowing yourself to receive. And I almost feel like you walk the planet in a receiving mode. And I love that. It's absolutely beautiful energy. I think you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, you're not allowing yourself to receive negative crap, but you're just open. You're open to whatever experiences that you can feel and come through, and all of this amazing energy. But being sometimes in that mode can sometimes bring about disappointments, because energetically it and again, I know you know how I'm saying this, so I'm not you know going to give, you know, I'm not going to sit there and you know dilute my words, I think. But it's almost like that beautiful child energy where, you know, when a kid gives you something or is open to receiving love and then they're disappointed, it's kind of like that, you know. But you're not, I don't mean that in an immature way. What I'm getting here is that it's like your soul doesn't understand to some degree when this beautiful energy comes through, right? So it's like you feel it, you experience it, you want to open up to it, you want to give to it, but not everybody is quite there yet. And even though logically and, you know, philosophically, whatever, you understand that, there is that kind of disappointment that comes through. So sometimes what you do is you can kind of blanket yourself from that. It's like, okay, well, maybe I'm not receiving the same energy. And this is why I felt going into next year, where I felt your person coming through. I feel that your person is coming through so strongly. And I feel like there's going to be challenges, but I do feel that there has to be a lot of that releasing energy that will come through at the same time, simply because of the fact, like, this person is going to push you to release, you're going to push them to release, but you guys energetically are on that same type of vibration where you both recognize each other, you recognize your souls, you recognize the energy between you, and you want it to grow. And this is what I keep getting. So I hope I answered that question for you, because I just feel like, don't worry about the disappointments from before. They just weren't there. They weren't ready. Your vibe is like here, and not many people are up there within that vibe. So, you know, but this person that is coming through, they're going to be really damn close to that, and you're going to see them. It's almost like what I keep seeing. I sometimes do see facial features and stuff like that of people, but I don't like to, you know, say them, simply because of the fact that it can block us. You know, like I said, like I might see blue eyes, but the person might actually have brown eyes, but maybe the rest of it matches. And there are people that are like, no, she said blue eyes, so I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to date this person. And I don't want to get literal. But when I see this person coming towards you, all I see is this big, shiny, beautiful light. That's all I can see. Like, it's almost as though there's the body, the energy, and this glow. So you're going to see something like that. Like, you're going to somehow recognize their energy, is what I keep getting. So yeah, I hope
I gotta say, you hit it spot on, because when I'm connected with Polyfree, I saw this exact energy,
right?
Of things being so broad.
Like, I feel like a star.
There's this freedom, there's this openness, and
yeah,
that really is beautiful. But
it feels like a star walking towards him. I don't know how to, I mean, you know, whether or not I can't tell you that they're absolutely beautiful or that they're not, or whatever. You know, I can't see that, but to you, they are. To you, they are going to be the most beautiful person because of that vibration with energy. It's just gorgeous.
Well, the one thing that I keep getting here for Polyfree is that with that energy being so open, what Spirit keeps showing me is it's almost like I don't know, they say it in so joking. You must have like really funny, smart ass kind of guides, Polyfree, because they like show it to me like, okay, your energy is broad. If you don't want things to be all encompassing, then just cut out what you don't want, or cut it out, you know, be specific or direct. Mm-hmm. And they keep showing me, if you want everlasting love, anchor your ship in everlasting love, and it comes to you. So it's like, you do have a direct connection with manifesting in your life. And I think it's because you do take on a more spiritual perspective, that you remain open or surrender to God, source, spirit, higher self, and allow them or it to bring, into your life what you want. But what they're showing me right now is that you really have a lot of direct control with manifesting your life. Obviously, we all do, but some people have to go different routes or through different obstacles in order to get to it. But for you, Polyfree, it's like, if you want something, you just set your anchor in that place and it will come. So if you want everlasting love, put yourself in everlasting love and what it feels like. Put yourself there, like right now, literally right now. What would you do for your love at this moment? Okay, do it. Literally do it. And it's going to literally manifest itself like right in front of you. So
yeah,
I think that's pretty cool, honestly, to have such a direct channel or a direct route like that.
So Polyfree, I'm also getting another message which has nothing to do with relationships coming through. But I'm hearing this from your guides. I'm hearing this from universe, whatever. Can you please get your ass into like making your own YouTube channel or something along that line? Like,
it feels like it,
right? Like I am hearing this, like you've got it. It's time for you to start. Time for you to start. It's like you have to get your own insights out. Like this is what I keep hearing. It's like, could you just tell him to get his ass in gear? This is what I keep hearing. I'm like, it's almost as though you have one of your guides that is whispering to me, literally saying, tell him that he needs to get his butt in gear. You need to get your butt in gear. So however that relates to you, but I feel like this has to do with perhaps maybe making your own, YouTube channel, your own website, whatever it is. Like it's time. It's time. Stop delaying, but whatever it is, but it's like time to get it into gear. So just an extra message that I keep hearing. We love you too. Thank you so much, Polly. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
All right. Thank you, Polly. Next up is going to be Beauty.
Oh, okay.
Beauty 2020 is asking general on love. Date of birth is September 2nd, 1983. So a Virgo. So I'll jump into this one first, Kathy, if you would like.
Please, yeah. I always do this every show, but I do have to run to the washroom. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Please, guys, give me like 2 minutes. Perfect. And this is perfect because Brandon is, it's me and my, great big, massive thing of coffee. So yeah, I'll be right back.
All right, Beauty. So what's coming for you here in love? I feel like, okay, so there's a similarity between yourself and another that we had already connected with and read, and there is a quite an intuitive connection that I do feel coming. But what I keep being shown is that you're going to have this psychic or intuitive connection with a person, and they're going to look opposite than what you thought, or it's going to seem like they're contradicting what you really wanted to bring into your life as far as a connection and love connection. But do not cut that out. Don't cut that connection out, because there's something really important. There's something important happening as far as a lesson that has to be learned, and it's to be able to see into somebody and not what they're trying to project on the outside. So there is a sort of dual nature coming to the connection that I feel you having. What you're really going to be able to see, and what's really going to be able to click, or where you're really going to feel that connection, is in this heightened, higher frequency conversation that you're having with somebody. It's going to create this really interesting like bubble, like the two of you entering into your own sphere where you lose sense of space and time, and you just kind of get lost with one another. But that's going to come after the initial friction is going to be seemingly apparent. So what's likely to happen, let me spell it out a little bit and reiterate. It's like you're going to feel a connection with somebody. You're going to feel totally repulsed or opposed by this person at first, but then you're going to start having these really high frequency conversations, and then boom, you're just going to feel this feeling of like, almost as if the two of you are like merged, like you're breathing the same air, like you're in your own little bubble, like you're connected in this whole other separate realm. But again, that immediate repulsion or friction is to force you both to look deeper within one another and not on surface levels. So it does look like this is an important connection that has not only serving a lesson, but it's also bringing you to a space of stronger definition, or I think a more evolved place within your own selves, emotionally, and as well as psychically or intuitively. So this feels quite beautiful. I love these kind of connections. These are awesome. All right. I'm not sure. I know you didn't hear anything, Kathy, but if you wanted to connect with Beauty's energy here, Virgo, and anything that comes as far as love life, there wasn't anything specific asked, just a general vibe. So that's why I kind of connected with what I felt there.
There's a really strong energy that's coming towards you.
It's strong, right?
Yeah, I feel not only physically within the energy, but the person themselves. Like I almost want to say, now again, don't take this on a literal realm, but this person almost feels like huge, broad, like I don't know, they're physically strong in some manner. They might even have something to do with fitness, or again, please don't take this literally, because basically what this is it's basic, it's how I feel in regards to the energy of this person. But they are so emotionally strong. They're gonna challenge you though, girl.
That's that friction I'm feeling.
What's that?
Yep. That's that friction I was feeling. You're picking up on exactly what I was saying.
like
Beauty,
like
that there's this
like not
friction, repulsion.
Right. Like they're it's not like they're going to challenge you in the way that you're going to have to check your own ethics or morals or anything like that. Like, I don't feel like them being disloyal, or I don't mean challenge like that. They're going to challenge you, like call you out on your crap, and push your, we're like Brandon was saying, the repulsion, the desire, or all of it's going to be like that. It's kind of like, what, you're knowing too much about me. I have to close down. Wait a minute. No, I like this energy. I'm going to open up. No, I'm going to close down. And they're going to push you because they know what they want, and they want you. That's what I keep getting. And so this is going to be amazing energy. This is amazing energy. That's what I keep getting coming from them. Yeah. Is that kind of what you got? Because I did miss most of what you had said.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
Exactly it. We're picking up on the same thing.
Yeah. like they're like, I almost see a smirk on the face, kind of like they know what they're doing. They're trying to get you to open. They're trying to get you to have the faith and the trust. They're going to push your limits. But I tell you, I am getting a warning, though. Don't challenge them. Don't challenge them on their loyalty. That's going to be important. I do feel that, because they might appear I think like this person has a lot of friends or a lot of people in their life that could, not present a challenge, but it depending on your viewpoint, you might look at it and go, they got too many friends. Or can I be, they're going out with a friend, or, that's a girl that's maybe been in their life for 800 years, whatever. But I just feel like don't challenge them on their loyalty, or if you do challenge, don't make it a daily, weekly, monthly type of thing. Like, you can ask about the friendship, but I feel like this person is very loyal. That's what I keep getting. And that was like a warning that came through. Like they might also even know that it's going to trigger you, they want to see if it's going to trigger you. So it's like a growth experience for you is what I keep getting. Does that make sense?
Don't we all love growth experiences?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're always fun.
Hey, that's the point of relationships and love, right?
Right.
Help us grow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Big part of it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, beauty, and good luck. Enjoy, honestly. Enjoy that fire. Enjoy that passion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be, this is going to knock you on your butt, girl. And it's going to be freaking amazing. And those are the relationships that we cherish. And, you know, they challenge us, they make us grow. But I feel like this is like a forever type of person. Like this person is going to push you to be vulnerable with yourself, and it's going to be beautiful. That's what I keep getting. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
All right. Let's hop on to the next one here. So that's going to be Dazzled of Empress, that beautiful emerald energy.
I love that energy.
Single time.
Every time I see you, it's like this beautiful green that comes through, and it's like
always a green, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is this?
And it's funny because, you know, the name Empress is the pentacles, right? Or that Empress energy is always in that bright, beautiful green.
Oh, right. That like garden area. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
All right, so Dazzled of Empress would like to know. I want to know what Spirit wants to tell me. I guess I'm going through a rough time and want to know what I should know. I also wanted to start a cosmetic business. Will it inspire and uplift others? One, that's going to be a definite yes. Yeah. I mean, immediately. If you tie in your energy to a cosmetic business, I am telling you, it is absolutely going to inspire others. I can see it even evolving into something like, I don't know. I just keep seeing these diamonds. I keep seeing these like jewels and emeralds and rubies and like all sorts of things. Maybe you can make a color palette that's in the shape of diamonds or jewels or something like that, certain cuts. But yeah, a cosmetic business is like perfect for you, especially if you use it to reach out to people in a humanitarian way. Like the Empress takes care of, you know, the people, the fae, the forest, the random whatever energies floating on by. Like that person takes care of those energies. I know that it would be not only lucrative, but it would just feel like it does connect to other people. I just wanted to show that immediate impression right away.
I wanted to show you the Empress card. And that's, you know, like the energy, you know, it's that green, beautiful energy that is coming through. I do feel that with you. So what I'm getting from your guides, Empress, is I feel frustration. What I'm hearing from your guides is don't get frustrated. Okay. So how do I, every aspect of you building your business, your channel, all of this, there is going to be some challenges, but I'm going to tell you why. Is because every challenge that you come across, and nothing is going to be too big or too major. It's going to be, I feel frustrating, like if anything else, like maybe a little frustrating. But each challenge is going to be absolutely necessary for the next building step or a future building step. Because as Brandon said, I could feel this going big, but you're not, but you know what, it's like your guides are reminding you, in order to reach a level of success, there's always has to be those little challenges, but each challenge is a learning lesson. It's something that you're going to draw into so that, you know, let's say in a few years from now, when you're really big, that same challenge could come up and it's going to be nothing. It's not even going to be a challenge. You're not even going to recognize it. It may be the first time you encounter something, you know, where you might get a little frustrated or a little bit feel like a setback in some way, but it absolutely is not. They're just literally coming through saying, you want to build your empire, you can build your empire. Okay. because that's what I keep feeling. You can build this empire, but you can't build an empire without the work behind it. So prepare yourself, dig down, dig deep, off you go. We're bringing you these things. Yeah, we're bringing you these things because the higher you get, again, it's not that challenges aren't going to come, but you're not even going to recognize them. You know, you're not even going to, it's like, oh yeah, I dealt with that already 10 times, like whatever, you know, and you're moving up. But these are all, it's like, again, you know, if you look at that Empress energy, or even, I even want to go into the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, because that's what this is sort of reminding me of. That King of Pentacles comes through with, he is the King of the Kings in the tarot. Okay, he is the top of the kings in the tarot. But the reason that he got that way is because he's already been through the challenges of the King of Cups, the emotions. Okay, so he's in charge of his emotions. He's already, you know, the King of Swords. He's already in charge of his mental facilities. Okay, he's not a drama king. You know, the King of Swords, it doesn't put up with drama and all that shit, right? He, you know, the King of Pentacles, he's not the King of Wands, where it's like a player or not somebody, like he can be very secure and very serious about what it is that he's going for. He has that desire to move forward, but there's that playful energy in it. So that King of Pentacles, he sits there on the top of his mountain. He's already achieved all of the things that the other kings have, you know, accomplished, but they're all, you know, within their own one field, whereas the King of Pentacles has already kind of challenged and received all of those challenges, and he surpassed them. And that's why now he's sitting at the King of the Hill. Okay, so that's kind of what I keep feeling with you. So don't let the challenges bring you to I don't make them a setback. Look at them as they are, that learning lesson. How do I achieve this? How do I go about this? And I feel like one of the things that I always say, you know, for myself too, is how do I? And so when I'm trying to figure out something, you know, whatever it is, let's just say, you know, how do I make bread? You know, I just say, how do I? How do I make this? And the answer will appear. The answer will show up. We just have to allow the energy to come in order for it to do that. Okay. So I hope that that's helped him.
Yeah. The only other thing that I'm getting here with the Empress is that Spirit keeps showing me to make sure the home affairs are in order. They keep showing me the home as far as the home as itself, but also the self and the emotions.
Yeah.
Make sure everything is feeling strong and stable in its own energy because of what is coming. Like Kathy said, I do feel like it is going to be all about growth. So having the home and then the emotional self and any emotions in a good, solid, stable place, it's just only going to afford more success. So that way this growth can absolutely continue unimpeded, you know? So I think you're all in the right positions here. I think Kathy is absolutely spot on with what she's picking up here, and just be great strength for yourself because you are about to, you know, see some really important growth in your life.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. And, you know, obviously, you know, as we continue the show, we're excited to hear about your progress also.
Yes.
So, and that's why we're here. Maybe there's some challenges we'll be able to help you along with on the way. So you never know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Empress. Next up, we have Emily Rosa.
Okay.
So we've got a few people that I don't see in the chat. So if you are, please sound off. Star, are you here? Marlene, are you here? Spiritual J, are you still here? If you are, y'all are on the list. Make sure that you're still here. I think I see Marlene in the chat here. There's Marlene. Okay. So Star left. Emily is here.
Okay.
All right. So let's connect here with Emily. Emily is asking, can I have an energy update between me and Shane? Still no contact. My readings have been saying he is now waiting for me to contact because he's feeling pretty heartbroken, but not sure. Birthday is January 18th.
Emily, have we done a reading for you before?
I think Emily has been here before.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. He's heartbroken. That's what your readings have been saying? I don't think those are from us though, because I don't remember ever saying something like that.
No, I think she's doing her own readings.
Okay.
Or maybe, you know, with somebody else, but
Somebody
nothing.
else. Yeah, because I don't.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not really picking up on that energy of. I'm feeling disappointment. I'm feeling a disappointment, but I'm not feeling, I don't know how to, it's like a disappointment within himself for something. I don't know exactly what the situation was, but I keep hearing he's disappointed he can't find strength within himself. He's disappointed that he's not, okay. Oh, did he do something to you? Or like because it just feels like there's a disappointment from him for maybe perhaps one of his behaviors or something that he did.
There's definitely some sneaky or shady behavior coming through.
So it's I don't know if it's particularly heartbroken, but it just feels like he's just in this place like he knows. Oh, he walked away. Okay. He knows he screwed up. That's what I keep getting. He knows he screwed up. Like somehow he screwed up. Oh my God, Emily, he wants to come forward so bad. Okay. I almost feel like this is an energetic shift that you have to do. Because this guy, I don't want you reaching out to him in any way, because that won't teach him a lesson. He's got to, to some degree, he's got to stay within that disappointed energy, not stay in that disappointed energy, but he can't
he's on a surface level, superficial vibe right now. He's not even getting into the depths of stuff. He's like literally on this total surface
like
level.
A boo-hoo type of crap.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo for me, you know, or something like that. But it's almost
he's
like
not on Emily's vibration. And Emily, I feel like, wants to acquiesce because it's natural. You know, we want to stay connected. And I feel like Emily has a compassionate enough heart that she would be totally willing to stifle her own energy to connect for him. But
and you can't.
You're absolutely right that she has to.
Yeah, you cannot do that. The only way that this is going to really work and really come together is he's got to own up to his own shit within himself. Doesn't mean he has to particularly own it up with you. I mean, I feel like he would at some point, but he's got to do it within himself. And, you know, because we had an earlier reading like that, you know, it almost feels as though if you were to give him a forgiveness, or if you were to give him like that reaching out, and I don't mean forgiveness, like, you know, but it's like, if you're not letting him grow, he's not going to grow. He's going to take what he can get and you know, justify it in some way. So I don't feel like a reaching out on your end is a positive thing. It would make him happy, but this is going to end up being another circle, and it's going to just end up, you're going to be heartbroken because he's not growing. This might not be overnight. I'm going to tell you that, because this guy has to come into the fact that he screwed up. He does not get the chance to walk away and leave somebody in a place, or not have that open communication, or not be able to reveal himself. You know, it's like he wants this relationship, but he wants you to do all the work for it. And that's crap. You know, he's got to come forward. He's got to open up. He's got to, you know, learn how to have a relationship in order to achieve that relationship. And for right now, what I'm getting is to stay in that. I don't know if it's you that I told this to, because I almost feels like it is to some degree, but I don't know if it was. I almost feel like you got to communicate with him spiritually, tell him it's safe to come forward, but that, you know, you're there to listen, you're there to, you know, accept you're there to forgive to some degree, but he has to come into his own power, and you're basically going to stand in your own power and let him know that, again, on a spiritual level. Like, not, that doesn't mean communicate with him face to face or through text or anything. Like, communicate that through him, through that 5D realm, and let him know, look, it is safe, but I'm not accepting any crap. So, yeah.
That is the main message that Spirit keeps showing me, is that you have to create this really strong, rooted, foundational place for the self. So that way he can meet you at that level. Again, like Kathy said, he has to do it on his own.
Yeah.
But you create that space, and then he can meet you there.
I was just reading your comments, and you said you've been dreaming about him. So I feel like maybe before you go to bed, put out the intention that you would like to connect with him on that spiritual level. But again, stay strong within yourself before you go ahead and reach out to him. Because you will have that bond on that spiritual realm. Here's the interesting thing. You guys do a lot of 5D interaction, whether you're recognizing it or not. So I feel like even when you're awake, try to stay, it doesn't mean to stay positive and happy all the time. I mean, that's almost impossible to do, but but what I mean by that is to send out as much of positivity as you can throughout the day. And again, let them know it's safe. Let them know that you're there, but you're strong within yourself. Basically, you're saying to him, look, I'm the queen. If you want me, you got to be that king. You got to go into that king energy, because I don't deserve anything less than that king energy. So that's more or less what you're putting through, but do it with that sense of love. Okay. I hope that that's helped.
All right.
Yeah.
So next up, I think we've got some people missing. So let me take a look here. And then that way we might even have like Destiny just popped in. Destiny is a new viewer here. But I think we've got some people that have dropped off. So I don't think Star is here. Star, if you're here, give us a shout out in the chat. If not, we're going to go on to Marlene.
You're so welcome,
and
Emily.
I believe Marlene is still here. So let's see if Star responds. And if not, we'll go on to Marlene.
Oh, Marlene's there.
All right, Marlene's here. I don't see Star here. I feel bad. Star feels like they've got some really tough energies going on right now. All right, and then after Destiny, should we close the reading list?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I have to ask everybody a question. If it doesn't apply to anybody, that's okay. But it feels like it may be somebody in the chat. I don't know, but I'm feeling a lot of pressure in my frontal lobe, like right here. It almost feels like a headache or something coming through. And I don't feel like this is completely mine. Like, it almost feels as though maybe this is somebody else's that's coming through. Can anybody, if you guys can confirm that, great. If not, I will just let it be. But I've been feeling like this for like the last, I want to say, half hour. It's almost like a strong pressure that's coming through. So does this belong to anybody here? I don't know. I just needed to ask.
Maybe we should do a quick release. What do you think? Should we do a little breath real quick?
Yeah, I would like that, because it feels like it's not particularly a bad energy, but it's very pressure. Yeah, pressure.
Yeah. I feel,
and I'm not a headache type of person, so, but it feels like it's almost it's connecting to the crown chakra for some reason. So it's like really strong. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I feel it a little bit differently. It feels like there's a lot of weights on the chest. Like, I'm feeling a difficulty with getting a full breath. So
it might be Marlene. Sorry, Marlene. I'm not sure if it's you. I don't know how long you've been here for. Like, it's been like literally about half an hour. So it you know, is what I've been feeling. And Brandon's feeling a little bit differently with the chest, you were saying? Like
yeah, I'm interpreting the energy differently. Like myself is interpreting it differently.
Okay.
I just feel that pressure with the breath. So, all right. So let's go on to Marlene here, because Star is not here. So let's do Marlene. Marlene would. Okay. So I think Marlene is wanting to do.
Oh, it might be you, Marlene. Yes, because if you've, okay. You've been here since we started. Yeah, it very much could be you, because it just feels like, like it's really strong. It's really full of pressure. Okay. Sorry.
If you do have a specific question, Marlene, you can ask that for Kathy in the chat while I run your astrology chart here. April 27th, 92, and then I think I saw Dominican.
And Kit Kat, we still have you on the list, so don't worry. We're getting there. Marlene, I don't know if you have a specific question, but because wait a minute. Why am I feeling the way you do? Okay. And
Marlene, what is the specific city that you were born in the Dominican Republic?
Marlene, as you're typing that, I'm going to tell you what it is that I'm picking up. So, okay, again, you know, coming into this planetary phase and all of this stuff that's going on, let me just tap into this for a second. There's a lot of freaking pressure on you. That's what I feel, first of all. I don't know if this is an actual physical pressure or a spiritual pressure or like an emotional pressure. You're holding on to shit. You're holding on. It feels like there's a lot of there's a lot of things that you don't need that you're hanging on to. Something to do, I feel, just family, something to do with family. Is there something going on within your family unit, family, like it almost, I feel like you're almost taking on a responsibility that's not particularly yours, is what I keep getting. Somebody is throwing some serious responsibility at you. Does that make sense to you? Like it's, I don't know if they're actually saying it, but okay, it's like that energy where somebody's trying to get you to fix something or change something or do something. But, and again, they may not physically be saying it. They may not be verbally saying it, but you feel this pressure. It's almost like you're taking on a responsibility that's not yours. That's what I keep getting. And, oh girl, this is tough. This is tough because it's like they want you to fix something. It's hard to, you know, exactly grasp the energy of what it is, but this isn't yours. It's not your responsibility. It's not your pressure. This is theirs. And it's almost, oh my God, I have to ask you a very specific question. They want me to change how I am. Okay. Okay. I got to ask you a question. And this is going to sound crazy, but that's okay. Cause you know, this is what we do. Is there somebody who has, like witchcraft energy, spell energy, like somebody who deals with maybe the occult in some way, somebody who, you know, maybe has that type of energy around you? Does that, okay. Is this the person that is putting this pressure on you in some manner? Because this almost feels, I don't say this. You guys have never heard me say this on the show, and I probably may never ever say it again unless I actually feel it. There's some serious, like, I almost feel, I think my kids grow. Okay. There's like, it almost feels as though this person is throwing some serious spiritual shade at you. That's what I get. It almost feels like a spell work to some degree. And I'm not saying curses. I don't believe in curses. I'm sort of one of those people, like, it's all within the mind. But it feels as though there is some sort of energy that they're throwing on you. I want to say, but because you're so higher up in your vibration, you're picking up on it. So again, I don't particularly believe in curses. I feel like it's our own energy that allows us to absorb it. So whatever it is that they're doing or behaving, or whatever it is that they're trying to throw onto you on a responsible level, I feel like you need to, this is a woman. I do feel it's elderly. Not elderly, like not old. This person could be about 40 or 50. Maybe around that time. I feel like they kind of talk about that spiritual realm in her mother then. Okay. They don't hide the fact that they have some abilities, or that they're maybe perhaps dabbling in witchcraft or something like that. Like, they kind of like to make it known. They may not talk about it like, oh, I'm the greatest in the world or anything like that, but they present that in some way. That's what I keep getting. You need to bubble yourself. You need to, I feel like you need to do some saging. Okay. When you do the sage, all you ask for, do not ask to have a negative anything removed. Literally, when you're doing the sage, and this can be within your own energy, it could be creating the white bubble of light. It could be with actual sage or whatever it is that you prefer to use for the cleansing process. All I want you to say is this: I only invite peace, love, and prosperity into my home and into my realm and my being. Okay? That's it. That's all you need to say, and you will start. You may have to do this like a couple of times a week. Okay? There's no expense behind this. Like I said, get yourself a little bit of sage, or sweetgrass, or, whatever it is that you like to use. But, your energy is way stronger than this person, but the fact that they know that they can affect you, they're taking advantage of that. And again, there's some sort of responsibility that's coming through with this. And just like I said, a couple of times a week, I want you to just say, I only invite peace, love, and prosperity into my home, my being, and my personal realm. That's it. That's all you need to say. And I feel like they're going to feel that block. They're going to feel that change in that energy, and they may rebel a bit. So don't be surprised if she gets a little cranky or bitchy because they're going to feel that energetic push. But at the same time, your strength is so much stronger than theirs. Okay. So I hope that that's helped, and that's from my end, because I feel like you can clear this off.
Honestly, Marlene, you should definitely be listening to Kathy here. I mean, you both have the moon in Pisces. So Kathy is definitely speaking to some really important things that I know that you're going through, and that I know you feel. You're very, very sensitive. You are often picking up on everybody else's emotions for certain. There is, when I'm looking at your chart here, as far as what's coming up for the conjunction on the 21st, you're kind of going through a revolution in your life. And you're definitely being forced to see things that, either aren't working or aren't going to serve you in your life. And it's because you are about to go through your Saturn return next year. This is a time in your life where all of the, I guess, BS, the stuff that just doesn't work, it's going to be cut out of your life. You're going to be confronted with it, and then you're going to find a way to be able to disconnect from it. And you have to make that active decision to disconnect. And like Kathy is saying, make sure you use things that help to protect yourself and your space, so that way you know what works and what doesn't. If you set that intention and create that sort of little bubble around yourself or your space, then you know that whatever gets through is for the good of yourself. So having that system for yourself is going to be extremely important, because that's going to carry over into what happens after your Saturn return. This revolution that you're going through, I mean, your core, it's almost like being rewritten at this time, and you're going to come to really important revelations about yourself, about what you find valuable, about what defines you. I even feel like you are going to be doing some kind of uplifting work, or things that are inspirational to other people. It feels like when you hit your Saturn return, your Saturn is in Aquarius as well. So it's not going to happen during this conjunction, but it is going to happen next year. You're going to really exemplify this whole Saturn and Aquarius energy, because it's your natural place, it's your natural domicile. So I think when you start to become affected by this is going to be next year when you do hit your Saturn return. Jupiter will probably go over your natal Saturn faster, but this is going to be a year for you to really set into those definitions as well. I think we had spoken about this with somebody else who had already gone through all that energy. You're in the midst of it. And so you do get to create that set in stone, but that's not going to come until later. That's not going to come until next year, once you officially have that Saturn return. I do feel that with Mars in Pisces, your actions aren't always understood by many, and you can use that to your advantage. You know, that Piscean realm has the ability to go within the depths of the waters, blend with everything, and then can choose the moment, you know, when something is to be seen or not. You know, so you can really use that to your advantage, using the subtleties of emotional movement for your own advantage. So I think for this great conjunction for you, this will be a moment to eliminate what's not working, disconnect from what's not working for the self. That way, you can move forward in this Saturn return with whatever is strongest and things that you can absolutely rely on. But give yourself a little bit of a break. You are going through a big revolution in your own self, in the core of who you are. You've got that Uranus, and it's going back and forth over your natal sun in Taurus. So you've gone through this energy quite a few times. And now once Uranus goes back direct, which I don't know the exact date, you'll only go through it one more time, and then you'll finally be, after next year, it looks like it's going to happen probably around July of next year, your Saturn return. I'm not for certain on that. We'd have to do like a full reading to see that, but probably around July. After July, you'll really be in that definition. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Marlene. My goodness. Yeah, that must have been that pressure that was being felt.
Yeah, because it felt like
there's a lot
the messages that were coming through for her, like it was just so crazy strong. And it's like, I don't want to sound, too, it's like, what's the word? Like, I just felt like there was a lot of shade being thrown at you, for whatever reason. And this can be cleared. This can be cleared easily. Just stay. You're so much stronger than them. So that's what you have to remember. So, yeah, I hope it helped. Star did come back.
Okay. So we did just pass Star, so we can do Star's question here. Let me find Star's question in the chat here. Oh, Alex returned. He is Libra, October 21st. So will Alex return for Star?
Well, he's a Libra. Will you reconcile? Okay, I'm not feeling a no. Oh, he's really, oh my goodness. Okay, so this guy's energy. He's forward, and then he turns, and he's forward, and then he turns his back. He's forward, he turns his back, like this, back and forth. Can't make up his mind what the hell he wants. There is most definitely feelings between the two of you. His feelings, I almost want to say his feelings are a little bit like more than yours, which is odd for somebody that's, you know, also kind of got their back. But it's like he's got this fear. There's a mother energy around this guy too. What is this mother energy? You might want to confirm. Almost feels like either he's a mama's boy or maybe there's a mother of a child or something like that, but it's like he's back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. He's he has an awful lot of feelings towards you. Like there's a lot of strong emotion that I do pick up from him towards you. Like I said, I almost want to say he's got more feelings for you than you do for him. It doesn't mean that you don't have feelings towards him. It just feels like there's a lot of energy there. I feel like there is some sort of fear that he does have, and emotionally, it might be just the emotional back and forth and back and forth. Like he may not, you know, be presenting himself physically. This guy, I feel he is going to make some attempt to come forward. Oh, he's so, I don't know how to describe it. Do you know what I'm saying, Brandon? Like, you know, when somebody can't make up their freaking mind about shit. Excuse my language.
Well, it's funny you say that because I keep being shown there's quite a bit of this immature, lofty energy.
Yeah.
With Alex, and like Spirit keeps showing me that there's no, I'm not going to filter it. There's a delusional state in the minds that I keep happening where it's like things of reality are not being used to create action. And so what Spirit keeps showing me is that there's going to be quite a wake-up call for Alex, that he's going to realize that he is letting himself sit in this fantasy realm of whatever ideas that keep kind of popping in his mind. It's like he's all in this realm, but then the actions that he's taking don't line up with everything that he's actually thinking, feeling, or doing. So this is why I think I feel that immature energy, is because there isn't a full developmental connection between the thoughts and the actions, and then how they manifest out in physical realm. So I do feel like him, Alex, going through this kind of shocking, jarring realization for the self. But this seems in line with what Spirit is showing me as far as the future nature of your connection, because they keep showing me that it's like he kind of rides in, he's got these flowers. Spirit keeps showing me this quite harmonious energy between the both of you coming in. So I do feel like there's a reconnection, but it all depends on Alex really just growing up. That really has to be the best way to say it, because I feel like he's aware of what's going on. It's just like he's making these weird disconnections within himself. And that's what I feel pulled him away in the first place when the two of you disconnected. When he left you, or left things between the two of you, it's like he's listening to these older, immature ways of doing that. I don't know what exactly he was listening to. Spirit just shows me it was immature, and then created movement because of that immaturity.
Star, I do want to say, in the spirit realm, there really isn't a huge timeline. So you have to understand, like, what we're seeing, even though it's been 2 years since, you know, you guys, you know, disconnected or whatever, Spirit still shows us the energetic level of where he is or was or is currently, you know, being and future energy through a different timeline, different aspects of things. So when we pick up things, It's showing like it can be current, past, all of that energy. But the energy itself, as Brandon was saying, like I felt him coming back. Brandon feels him coming back. I feel like, here's the thing though, even though you're sort of mourning his absent, even though you're mourning his absence, am I saying that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. There's some words I get caught up on, like aluminum. I don't know. I can't say that word anymore. But it's like aluminum. Like, I feel like on the Muppets or whatever. Okay. You need to become stronger within you. You need to become like, even like, I just want to say, even if you were to, I'm sorry, he's gonna, okay.
Understand completely.
I understand. Okay. So this feels like it needs to be important for you. Like you need to find some way to raise up yourself, because staying in a mourning for him is going to keep him in a mourning level, which might be why that energy is like this, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. You know what I mean? So again, it may not be presenting itself on that physical level, but this is the energy. So I feel like you need to raise yourself up, even if this is a matter of, I mean, I know this is like COVID crap or whatever, but if this is just connecting with people, or, maybe having virtual dates, something that raises your vibration, even if there's not really the thought of this, being everlasting with somebody, it just feels like raising up that vibration within yourself, trying to remove the mourning that you are feeling. Hey, I've been there, you know what I mean? Like that mourning, it's hard, because you just feel like, how do I get out of this? How do I move past? Like, this is, I went through this a couple years ago, and it was just like, it was devastating. It broke me. And what I'm getting here is like, when you come out of it, you do start to feel that strength. But here's the thing, so will he. And you'll raise up above it. You'll move past it. And you might even see that connection reestablishing within itself, because it's making him stronger as well. Not only are you gathering your own strength, you're giving him that strength to come forward. It doesn't mean to take away from your strength to give him strength. That will come naturally. Okay. That's what I keep feeling with you. I feel like this is so important to gather your own energy right now. I almost feel like you need to do maybe a cord cutting. And now when we talk about cord cutting, this doesn't mean you're cutting somebody out of your life. Basically, you're cutting off that energetic tie in order for them to have their own strength, in order for you to have your own strength. And basically what it does is it allows them to really see who they are within themselves without your energy being tied to it. It doesn't take away from anything, and it doesn't mean that you're not giving him strength in some way, because if it's supposed to be, your guides will give that to him. But it basically means is that you're not going to receive his junk that he's sliding through this tunnel to you. Okay. Like when we do a cord cutting, imagine it like a subway tunnel. Okay. So when he's in his back and forth and being a child, he's wooing that energy to you, which is keeping you in a mourning state. What you want to do is say, close the damn tunnel, buddy. The only thing your train is going to do is go against a wall, and you can deal with your own shit. Right. And you're taking that energy and that strength within yourself, and all of the positive things that are in your tunnel, your train tunnel, you're going to keep receiving. Call back your energy, make yourself stronger, and when that tunnel is ready to be open, when he becomes a man, when he becomes strong within himself, that tunnel will open, and it will, come together again, is what I get. And I tell you, giving them their own strength, whatever they do with that energy is up to them. right? Like you're not in control of that, but you're giving them their own strength. So it's like, nope, here you're hitting a wall. You take your own strength. You do what you want with it. You have two choices. You can be a man or you can be a child. Done. And keep that energy within yourself. And that's how I feel like things will grow.
So spot on, Kathy. You're absolutely right. I hope Star was definitely paying attention, because that is what I am shown is needed as well.
Yeah.
Cannot channel his energy. Cannot channel it.
Here's the thing, Star. The fact that synchronicity, what did you just say? They just called for Alex. There you go. There's that confirmation that what I just said, bang on, right? Because that's a sign from spirit right there. Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful moment. I love that.
Right?
I love that.
When you get that,
you can't plan it any better. You like really can't.
Yeah, when you get that synchronicity coming in, that's like spirit saying, it's like spirit putting up a billboard saying, listen to everything.
Whatever's happening right now. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Same with, numbers. It's like,
here, Star.
The angel numbers that come through, sometimes those are that direct sign, and you'll be thinking of something and you're just like, you look at the clock and it's like 11:11 or 12:22 or 2:22 or 3:33, 4:44, it goes on, right? And you're just like, whoa.
You know what my favorite is?
Which one?
I'm always sitting there and I'm like, I feel like I need to get up and do this. I look at the clock, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Okay, go.
Right? Oh yeah. Yeah. I love it.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it back, Star, because that seems like
I feel like you needed to hear that too. Like, right? Here's the thing, Star. And I talked about this last week. The masculine energy is really coming into themselves. They are becoming strong. They are knowing, they're starting to recognize their own energy, their own strength, whatever it is that they're going to do. They're starting to come through and they're starting to recognize it. But it's not our job to baby them. Okay. Because that, it's like a child, right? If you keep giving the child everything and not letting them learn, they're going to stay within that child energy. These masculines, and again, whether, it doesn't matter about gender, whether it's feminine or male or female, like this is an energy, right? And then the masculines, and even the masculine sense within the feminine. So even within myself, my masculine is getting stronger. It's balancing with my feminine energy. The masculine's energy is coming up and it's starting to balance. Like people are starting to get more balanced, but we can't coddle them because they're not growing, right? And they will come through this. They will figure this out. And that's why I say, cut that energy, because you really truly will see that difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And thank you so much, Star. I hope it's helped. I see angel numbers all the freaking time too. Like, honestly, it's like, or sometimes I'll just have a feeling like, look at my phone. You know what I mean? Because I usually keep my phone on mute all the time. And, all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, hey, well, there it is, like 333 or, 1111 or whatever. I'll just like suddenly just pick up my phone and be like, oh, damn. Okay. There it is. Awesome. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I keep my phone on mute too. I turn off notifications. It's like if I'm supposed to interact or connect with something, I'll pick up my phone at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Ultimate spiritual phone right there.
Right. I love that.
All right. So we got a couple more to do here. We are at the top of the hour. So let's see if we can get through these. Spiritual J is up next. Make sure you're still here in the chat, Spiritual J. Then we have Kit Kat, Jen Mendoza, Kay, and Destiny Claire. So if you are all in the chat, make sure to sound off that you're still here.
Yeah.
All right. So there we go. So Spiritual J was asking, what are my spiritual gifts? Originally asked if there's any messages for me at this time. November 14th seems to be the date of birth.
Okay. I hear visions, something about vision, visionary, visionary. Are you doing a chart on Spiritual J as well?
No, I only have the month and day. No.
Okay. I hear something. I keep seeing visions. Like I literally see visions, but I'm hearing the word. I see the word being written out. Visions. Does that make? Thank you so much, Ivy Gray. Thank you. I feel like there's a visionary sense behind you. I don't know if you're actually getting visions, but it's like a visionary. Like you can see things before maybe they happen. It feels like there's a strong communication from spirit coming through here. It's like you're hearing the messages, or the messages are trying to come through. But I'm also seeing visions coming from you as well. I hope that makes sense for you. That's what I keep picking up. It's almost like I want them to make it more clear. I've been getting visions a lot. Oh, there you go. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense, because like this is definitely coming in from spirit. Okay, I'm hearing from one of your guides. They're kind of a goof. I love that. Stop blocking us. Stop blocking us. Stop shutting down, because you know what it is that you're seeing. You know what it is that you're receiving. Stop trying to interpret is what I'm also getting. Go with the vision as it's supposed to be, instead of trying to interpret it to something that you want it to be. You're hearing the messages clearly. This guide is really talking to me, so just give me a second, because I'm going to try to channel as much as I can from him. I almost feel as though what he is saying here, it's like, stop blocking these messages. You know exactly what they are. You know exactly what they're leading. This isn't the first time you've received visions. You've been receiving visions since you were a child. I feel as though, you may have blocked them off. I feel around that age of 14, 15, something about 14, 15. It feels as though there's a block off of some sort of energy towards you. I don't know exactly what that is, but what I'm getting is that they're trying to communicate. Yes, stop interpreting, stop interpreting, stop interpreting. The visions are being shown as they are supposed to be. Does that make sense to you? Because that's what's coming through. that was a babble. But this guy really wants to talk. So there you go.
You're spot on, Kathy. I mean,
okay.
Absolutely spot on. When I'm connected with Spiritual J, I can feel that. I can even feel the pressure of these visions affecting the emotions. I can feel them affecting the self. And the one thing that Spirit keeps showing me is that it's incredibly important for Spiritual J to connect to people, and to choose who to share these visions with through heart chakra. Try not to let the mind make those decisions. It has to come from the heart space, because that's your motor. That's the space that's using all the electromagnetic frequencies to connect with whomever and affect the aura, etc. That's going to be the most important place to connect with through these intense visions. Because I think sometimes if you were to just put all those visions out, it might not spell the best situations for you, Spiritual J, because I feel like it could put you in compromising situations. Sometimes people just aren't ready to receive, they're not ready to receive messages. And so when the Spirit just keeps showing over and over again that you have to lead and come through heart and let the heart make all of those decisions.
Yeah. This guide, I want to see the guide, because he is a guy. Definitely, he's almost screaming in my ear, like it hurts. Okay, like it doesn't hurt. Like he's not being angry or anything like that. It's not coming off like that. But he really wants this message being known. I feel like he's trying to say something else. Just give me a second. I just want to see what I'm. Okay. I hope that this makes sense. I feel like you're doing something either on a physical, emotional, or spiritual level that you're not, that you know isn't correct for you. And I don't mean that this is against your morals or ethics or that you're a bad person or any, like, nothing like that, because I actually feel it's the opposite. Like it just feels like you may be even, you know, going down a whirlwind or a tunnel, or like, you know, of your emotions, or letting, you know, your emotions take over, something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel like you know exactly what it is. He is literally, like, he's stomping his feet. Stop that. Stop that. He says, stop that. You know what it is that you need to do. It's time to start going forward with this. Again, don't interpret the visions to what it is that you want them to be. Interpret them as their entirety. Okay, like, take them as they are coming through to you, and let the vision build upon itself in some manner, or present itself, or whatever it is. Okay, I don't know exactly what that means. I just burned a letter. Okay. I don't know exactly what it means, but is he mad about candle magic? No, okay, I get it. It's not so much about candle magic, because I do feel that that is a release. So he's not mad about that. He's not even mad. He's kind of like just trying to get his point across. Like, there's no anger there or anything like that, or any, you know, reprieve, or, you know, anything, you know, on a negative basis. It's just like I feel like, here's the thing, Spiritual J, you are very strong within your own powers, your own entities, your own energy, your own vibrations, that it's okay to do things like, you know, releasing, or, you know, like letter burning or something along that line. But what I'm really getting is he's like, use your own power, your own strength. Like, you are strong within yourself. You don't need to rely upon external measures in order to clear or release what it is that you need to do. Even if that's not right away, do what you can do, but don't rely upon those external measures in order to be the strength of who it is that you are. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Your guides are there. Your guides are really strong. This guy, he's amazing. I really like him. He likes to get his point across. Talk to him, because I feel he's going to guide you. He's pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. I like this guy, even though he was like really in my ear. I like him a lot. So you can really use that energy to, you know, guide you through. Yeah, he wants you to stand on your own gifts. That's exactly that. You said it perfectly. So, you know, this is beautiful and perfect energy. That's exactly, because he's going to help you. He's going to be there. He's going to help you. He's going to stand beside you. You know, this is really, really bringing you to the next level. Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, Spiritual J.
Yes, thank you so much.
Next up is going to be
Cat. Oh, I just wanted to answer Spirit. I actually don't pick up on guides' names. I don't even know my own. Not because of the fact that I probably can't. I feel like that is a very individual thing. And it's sort of one of those things that you should learn into yourself. You know what I mean? What you hear coming through is going to be the right name. And honestly, they don't even really, angels have their names in order for separation of, you know, their divine gifts, right? Because each angel can bring through a different divine gift. Whereas our guides have gone through so many lives and challenges and their own human ascension, that by the time they become our guides, they may or may not even prefer a name. Like, they're just for you. So whatever name that you are hearing within yourself, because you can ask him very clearly to come through with that, they will present it. Okay. So I just wanted to leave it at that. But I do feel, sorry, because I know he's quite tall. I feel he's quite dark skinned. I don't know what his culture particularly is. I do feel like this may have some African roots to it. I hear him in a more, I'm not going to say it's Jamaican, like, you know, it's not quite Jamaican, but it's more of that African dialect. Yeah. And I want to say he may have some voodoo background within himself, which is why I feel he also wants you to rely upon your own energy. Okay, doesn't mean that you need to get into hoodoo, voodoo, or anything like that. That's not what he's saying, but he understands the power of self is what I'm getting. Okay, it's all about yourself. This is about your own strength, your own energy, your own gifts, your own abilities, all of that. And he's strong, he's very powerful, and he will help you out to guide you through all of this. Okay, there we go. Okay, he's a talker like me, so you know. Okay.
All right, so let's move on to Kit Kat here. All right, Kit Kat wants to do a chart reading, so okay. I'll hop into that. So Kit Kat, I have your chart here. I did put San Rafael, California, by the way. That is what kind of came up. Green Beret did not work. So with your chart, so nothing that's really going to be, so you have Uranus and Neptune in Aquarius, but the Great Conjunction is not next to your planets in Aquarius. So you will feel the effects, but it's going to be after. What's really going to be affected, though, during the conjunction is going to be your emotions. It does look like it's going to make a square to your moon, and you currently have Chiron going over your natal moon. So you probably have some really deep emotional things coming up to the surface at this time, and they're probably very random or sporadic. They're probably hitting you in an intense way. It's like a wave almost coming over you, where you're probably feeling a burst of emotion in one moment. And what I'm being shown from this chart is that it could even be some deeper emotional wounds that are coming to the surface to be cleansed at this time. So I think be very aware of your emotions during this great conjunction, because they do feel like they might be quite intense and fiery. You also have Moon in Aries as well, so that does add to all that fire for certain. And then you're going to have a lunar conjunction probably in the next day or so, because the Moon is in Pisces. Oh no, I'm sorry. It'll be a day or two after that conjunction. The Moon will be in Pisces at the time, and then it'll be in Aries, so it'll be right over your natal Moon as well. The other thing that I'm seeing here is that it could be generational for you as well. I don't think it quite makes that square to Pluto, but it's possible that the days afterwards, once Saturn and Jupiter start moving a little bit further into Aquarius, that you'll start to feel that, and it'll kind of hit you as far as group identification. That could be a big thing for you over the next couple months, is like, what group do I feel like I identify with? Do I agree with this, or do I disagree with that? That could likely be a major push. The other thing that I do see is that your Sun and Mercury are opposing your Uranus and Neptune over in Aquarius. So again, over the next few months, you're going to feel the effects of it even more so, of this conjunction. It's going to be setting some really important definitions as far as who you feel that you are, and the lofty or far out goals that you have for yourself in your own life, and any sort of well, again, with Uranus, those important revelations that you come to over the next few months are going to very clearly have an impact on your own personal definition. So really for you, this great conjunction isn't going to hit you as profoundly until afterwards. So you're going to feel the effects after the conjunction, after the 21st. The only thing that I feel like you're going to feel are an intensity of emotions during that time, during the 21st of this month. I also see that over the next few months, you're going to have a nice trine with these planets over with your Saturn and Gemini. So this will be a great time over the next few months to focus on work and your career. I feel like this is also going to be what hits your revelations, and that personal self-identification. So this is really a good time for you to start pondering, a specific profession, not any job, but the profession itself. That's going to be very important for you. So I feel like you are in good energy right now, but again, just be careful about the emotions.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful energy.
It really is. I think it's really cool. I love that Saturn and Gemini up there. It's up in the 10th house, and that's the house of career here.
Yeah.
Where is that North Node? 5 degrees, Cancer. Aw, you like to cook, Kit Kat? Are you a fan of cooking? You like making meals, like for people or friends? I don't know why, but that just keeps pulling me. Like, I feel like these really
She loves
beautiful
baking.
big meals. Oh, I love baking. Perfect. I don't know why, but that feels like something that's going to be important in the future. I would kind of keep that in mind. What is that? What is the cusp? Okay, the cusp is in Gemini, but that North Node, Jupiter, and Venus are all in Cancer in the 10th house, and Cancer is like that protective, home, nurturing kind of vibe. Even though that midheaven is in Gemini, it's like those planets come through even stronger. Either way, Kit Kat, you're likely to be your own boss. I really feel that that's important. Also, you have very psychic dreams, just to let you know. Very, very psychic, subconscious. Oftentimes, information that you most need to know is in the back of your mind, so you do have to do some digging to get there. So meditation will always be beneficial for you, but if you can do it in an exciting way, I think that's how you're going to find a lot of enjoyment out of it. So really start exploring those energies. This great conjunction in the months that follow is really, that's going to be the more important time for you to really get into those spaces.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Kit Kat. I hope that's helped, because that was beautiful, actually. It was like, what amazing energy coming through.
I'm looking at this chart. There's so much going on. There are oppositions. You, of course, have a mystic rectangle because of these certain oppositions that are happening. Like, you've got a lot going on here. So there is a nice networked internal connection that Kit Kat has with the self, between the human self, the spirit, and the emotions. It's all kind of working together. I know sometimes it can feel like they're at odds, but trust me, they all do have their own flow.
Yeah.
I know this because I have a mystic rectangle as well. And it's like there are things that create oppositions in myself, but yet when I find the other routes to them, they work together, and you gotta it's like an experimentation of finding what works and what doesn't. So
That's beautiful.
all right. Thank you, Kit Kat. All right, so we got 3 more here. We'll do Jen,
Okay.
Kay, and Destiny. All right, Jen Mendoza is up next. Jen is asking, should I go to Arizona, where my brother, my situationship person, is there for sports and hints to want to meet there? Should I really consider going to visit or ignore the idea?
No, go. As soon as he said Arizona, I heard yes. You know what's interesting, Jen? I felt as though I felt like I needed to shuffle. I don't know why. I just did. I saw your name. I was like, no, I got to shuffle. So it's interesting because the card that came out, flew on the floor, was the Knight of Swords. This is somebody charging ahead, taking control, moving forward, not in a place of indecision. This is exactly what I feel coming for you. I feel like this is this is something that you need to go decisive, focused, driven, decisive, events that move with great speed. I feel like this opportunity came through for a reason. I don't feel a sense of you are supposed to doubt it. I don't feel that you're supposed to go against it. I feel like there's a lot of turmoil in your head about it. Like I said, back and forth, making worry, some nervousness. But here's here's the thing. Those are conscious thoughts. Those aren't they are not subconscious thought. Your subconscious energy is like go, 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 go. And you already know that. It's like you already feel like you're supposed to be on a plane, or you're supposed to be heading there. Or so I feel like these things that are coming through are just conscious worries. Like they're just worries that are like surface, and you don't really need to pay attention to them. I almost feel as though you're kind of pushing away the intuition part of it, like knowing that you're supposed to go to where it is that you're supposed to go. But there is some fears and worries that are popping through. I feel like you're supposed to go. I'm just going to say that. Does that help? Can I have it? I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it is. Honestly, Jen, go. I feel you're supposed to be there. I feel like you are supposed to be there. Yeah, and don't doubt yourself. You know what? Pay attention to, we always have I always talk about this, the conscious and the subconscious. And our conscious is our ego, it's our fears, it's our worries, it's our own crap, it's our own bullshit, blah, blah, it's our subconscious that we want to start paying attention to. And if our subconscious is in a loop of negativity, that's going to present itself in the conscious field. But here's the thing, is our subconscious also holds our intuition. And so when we're starting to listen to that intuition, it is also going to present itself in our consciousness. So it feels as though you already know you're supposed to be there. I feel like you were supposed to have been there already. So I don't know if you like it feels like you were supposed to be there already. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but I do feel this is the good move for you. Yes. So I hope that's helped.
So looking into the chart here real quick, she did put the birth date information. Jen, you're about to go through your Saturn return. It's like starting right now. It's starting on the 21st. Like it's a 5-degree orb. Your Saturn is that 6 degrees Aquarius, which notably is right on your IC, your Imum Kaleli. We don't really have any other term for it except that. For MC, we have midheaven, AC, we have ascendant or rising, DC is descendant. We just call them IC, Imum Kaleli. It's really our roots, our ancestry. This is going to be a time to focus on where you come from, the lineage, your ancestry, the past lives. This is really the time for you to start getting into that. You're probably going to start getting dreams or little visions or memory flashes of past life moments, things of that nature. This is really the time to dig into that. Dig into your family line, how your family is connected, where they come from, how they're connected to other people, other places, other situations. And I think you had mentioned that Arizona is where you do have some kind of family member. Is that correct? I think you said like a brother or somebody is out there. So that makes absolute sense to me as well, that move or that transition is kind of appropriate at this time. So focusing on that, the ancestry line is definitely going to be a huge thing for you. But again, with Saturn return, this is like arguably when you become a real adult, when you become like a real adult person. I know for me, when I went through mine, I really had this shift of like, okay, I feel like a real person now. Like I feel like I'm defined and I matter and my voice matters, and it's not that it doesn't before. It's just that it's more of an internal definition. And for me, being so Saturnian based, I felt that clarity in myself. With you having Saturn in Aquarius, there is going to be a pull, a stronger pull towards humanitarian efforts, where you do care for other people and are concerned with groups of people. Saturn return, a lot of people do think of it to be negative, and it's only because Saturn forces us to confront the things within ourselves that create definition for ourselves. That is something that sometimes people negate. When people are living false or fantasy lives, and if they're living some kind of lie, then they're going to be forced to confront that during the moment of a Saturn return, and things might either disappear or be taken away from them. But if you're living a life of authenticity, then Saturn return is not going to be a negative thing for you. It's all about getting you back into alignment with the limitations or boundaries that are imposed upon the self. So it can be negative for some people, but if you, again, are an authentic person, if you are someone who takes authentic action or connects with people in an authentic way, then it's going to be quite an easy time for you. But again, the highlights here are for you to focus on your ancestry and your lineage, and really where you come from. Getting in touch with that, exploring however you can, is going to be of huge benefit for you. So your impacts with this great conjunction aren't going to just affect you, they're going to affect the family and those around you, those that you are connected to. Also, it does make an opposition to your Venus and Mars and Jupiter, all up in the 10th house there. And those are all in Leo. So, wow, so you have a Jupiter opposition, Saturn opposition to all that. Oof, it is going to likely contradict some of the work that you are going to do. So if you can find a way to marry the two, your ancestry and then the work, I think you can find some really, out of this world insights, like some amazing growth. I think it's going to be up to you to find that. But if you can find a connection between your ancestry and then the work that you're doing, I think you're going to be very profitable and successful from all of that.
Beautiful.
That's really cool. That's a really cool chart, honestly. That's going to be such a cool moment for Jen. Mm-hmm. It'll feel intense for sure, but honestly, it's going to be well worth it.
Sometimes intense is pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I love intensity.
It's like,
I think it's really cool.
What do I do? This feels good, but I'm, a little scared. But it really pushes us forward too, right? It helps you to relieve a lot of fears.
It does.
So
it really does. Yeah. It's such a defining moment for Jen. It's going to be beautiful.
Thank you, Jen, so much. I hope it's helped.
All right, so let's hop on to Kay here.
Okay.
So Kay would like to know, will I be screwed over with my car purchase down the line? I think Kay had said something else about needing to buy a car because something happened and now wants to know, is this going to be a good time to buy the car or a car?
Okay. Okay, Kay. Here we go. Why am I being shown a picture of... I don't know what this means. It may not have anything to do with your question whatsoever. I keep getting shown a country road, like I want to say like farmland around you with a country road. Does this mean anything at all to you? I don't know what it has to do with the connection. Okay, this is a picture that's coming into my head. I don't know if it even is for you, but does this make sense to you? Because I got to clear out that vision first, and I need to know if it has anything to do with you. Can you, I don't know if you heard what I said, but I hope that sort of, okay. Again, I just see like, I want to say acreage, farmland, something. I want to get into animal work. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Because like I said, farmland, it just, I don't know. It just feels like that might be something that you should head towards. All right. With the car, don't rush is what I'm getting. Don't rush, don't rush, don't rush. You know, I don't feel a huge, I don't know. I almost, you know what I'm going to tell you? I almost feel like the person that told you that had an agenda. And I don't know what their agenda is. Maybe they have a truck they want to sell. I'm not sure. But it feels as though an agenda, they're trying to put a fear into you, something along that line. Does that make sense to you? I feel like you just shouldn't rush. That's all. You know, definitely go and get the mechanical inspection done on it, all of that. But I just feel, yeah.
I'm actually in agreement with all of this.
Yeah, because it just,
not the right
she
time
just said
to buy
it feels like it makes sense. It just feels like whoever it was that told you had some sort of agenda behind it. I don't know if it was particularly on a negative basis that they had an agenda or anything else. It just feels like they have an agenda behind it. Like that's why they're trying to prevent you from buying anything. And yes, you will find the perfect car. But again, like as you said, you feel it's going to be a truck. Don't rush on it. Okay. I feel like just take your time. Take your time. Definitely get the mechanical inspection.
So
I almost feel like
okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Brandon. I almost feel like I don't even know if you want to tell this person who told you that you found one. I don't know if they were a reader or a family friend, but yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Brandon. Sorry.
So I do feel like weirdly, I'm not big onto these moments of like, oh, you shouldn't do this at this time, but weirdly, I get what's being said though. Like when I ask Spirit about Kay buying a car, I'm being shown that it looks all nice and there's like an excitable thing, but they show me that it like dies and that there's something weird or shady with the vibe from it. So I'm asking when is going to be the best time, and I keep being shown that February is going to be the best time to be able to make this purchase. Also, if you do have a connection with a friend who has a car or knows of somebody that has a car or maybe even sells cars, I feel like that's going to be one of the best ways to go. But I would definitely wait until February and see if you can make a personal connection with somebody who is selling a car. It could be that a friend is quite literally selling a car and it's like the right one for you. That I would take that as a good sign. But I would just wait and I would keep other people, out of its energy or business. Like Kathy was saying, don't let other people's energy get pulled into this process. Don't tell other people, don't be responsive to them. Just, it's going to come to you at the right moment. But I'm thinking February is really going to be that best time because Spirit keeps showing me amazing, solid movement, end of February, beginning of March. So I'm thinking February is that time to really look.
Should you get a sedan or a truck? Honestly, you're gonna find whatever. I almost hear like the truck, something about a lot of gas. Too much gas, too much, like something about the fuel.
That's funny because I'm feeling the truck.
No, and that's okay. Like that's okay. It just I feel like you need to be the efficient. Like it needs to That's what I keep feeling. It's like there needs to be like basically what I'm saying is don't take that first one, because that might be that gas guzzler or whatever it is. Like really check the specs on this thing. Or make sure, because I feel the truck too. It's interesting. I'm going to ask you a question, Brandon. I kept hearing the word white. Did you get that?
I did not get white, so no. I didn't get a specific color.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Don't pay attention to the white color. You get whatever you want. You know what I mean? This is what Spirit was showing me. I
think just give it time. I really
I feel like the
February
perfect one is coming through for you, but don't.
This is not something that needs to be rushed.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. So I hope that that's helped. Okay.
Yeah, wait till 2021. Yes, this upcoming February.
Yeah.
That's the right time to look. All right. So let's we've got Destiny and then Jenna. Oh, good. You still have time. Good.
I feel like you do have the time. Like I said, I just don't feel like there's a rush right now. No, like don't get into a place of panic or anything like that. Like it will come through. So you're so welcome, Kay.
All right. So Destiny has typed the question in the chat there.
He's going to reach out to me anytime. A month. When was the last time you talked to him, Destiny? Like, when was the last time you guys had a conversation or something like that? I keep hearing a month. I don't know if that was a month that you've heard from him or something along that line. I just keep hearing 1 month. Okay. Last Sunday. Okay. Last Sunday. Destiny, just give me a second. I want to I want to pick up on this energy with him. Okay. So he's coming through. He will be coming through. What is in a month? Okay. And the reason I'm asking is I keep hearing 1 month. This is not going to have to do with the communication. You are going to hear from him, fairly soon. I want to say in the next week. I almost feel around Christmas. Like I do feel him coming through. But something about a month. And I don't know if this is a future energy I'm picking up or if there's some sort of special connection with about a month from now, like let's say the end of January. It doesn't even need to be within your like yours and his connection. This could have to do with yours on an individual basis in some way. It just feels like there's a month. Like I just keep hearing a month, something about a month. There is communication coming through. I keep hearing the word Wednesday, but please don't put that into I don't know if that will happen on Wednesday. I'm hearing that, so I'm going to let it be and leave it where it is. But I do feel you are going to be hearing from him, like I said, in the next week. I feel like I do feel around Christmas, but I don't know if that makes any sense to you, what I'm saying about a month, because it just feels like something important is in a month. And again, I can't quite figure out if this is an anniversary date of some sort, a special day in some manner, but something is coming through. Did somebody pass away? I want to say last January, like a year ago. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know. Something is coming through. I keep hearing a month. So if you can clarify that for me, that would be really great. I don't know if you have anything that you're picking up on here, Brandon.
Well, I'm picking up on a few things.
Okay.
So when I'm looking at the energy between Destiny and Jeremiah, I'm being shown that actually it's like the bond between these two is being held onto. but I'm also feeling like the energy feels like it's reached some
Pinnacle.
It feels like a pinnacle, because it feels like there is this idea that something is ending or has ended, and Spirit keeps showing me that this memory from some past ending keeps implanting itself in the current energy. And so they're showing me that this energy is stuck in a loop and it's not being allowed to move forward. And then they show me with Jeremiah that Jeremiah is currently or about to go through this internal heart crisis, and that there's going to be important realizations about love in Jeremiah's life, and that's what's going to be ushered through. Spirit is showing me that this is something that's going to be communicated from him to Destiny. But Destiny, I want to make sure that it's not your energy that's hanging on to some kind of past ending, or death or something, because they keep showing that energy quite clear right now. So I want to make sure that's not your energy that's doing that, because if it is, then it's just simple. All you have to do is just kind of let go, and disconnect and cut any cords or do whatever you need to. But okay, so I think about the breakup a lot and all the memories. Okay, so I feel like it's because of that past energy that's being held onto you that it's keeping things in this cycle. Because I feel Jeremiah is having this, important realization, this, deep, spiritual, profound, life-altering realization, and it's wanting to come through, but it's hard to when that glass is already full, if that makes sense. It's hard to fill another glass if it's already full of other stuff. So really try and disconnect, I think, from whatever any of those past memories or emotions are. Let those emotions go, because Jeremiah really is like a different person. There's almost a totally different person that's coming through. And if you hold somebody to the standards of the past, then they can never show you who they are now. So I hope that makes some clarity for you there.
I do. Yeah. Something about, honestly, there's a new beginning coming through. There's something new. Mm-hmm. I do feel, I don't know, something about a month, and it literally is playing over and over and over in my head. And I'm not sure what this is. This could be, where things, are just released between the two of you. But it just feels as though the end of January, there's going to be some sort of revelation, something that is going to, it feels like a stronger energy that is being presented in some manner. But I feel like Brandon was 100% spot on with what he had to say. Yeah, I do feel it coming through, but you have to release that old energy and allow that new beginning to present itself. Yeah. So I hope that's helped.
Whew. I think important realizations are to be had around Destiny.
Yeah.
There's going to be some really intense stuff coming through.
I don't know. Like I said, sometimes when I get something in my head and it goes around, and it drives me freaking crazy because I can't. It's like something about a month. Okay, a month. So maybe just hang on to that energy. Not hang on to the energy. Don't hang on to the old energy. Get rid of the old energy. It may present itself to where it's supposed to be in a month, but it's almost like you have to release, like Brandon said, release. And it almost feels like your guides are kind of giving you that hope, or that sometimes we get into the energy of, why should I do all this work if it's not going to happen anyway, blah, blah, blah. And your guides, I almost feel like, are telling me, put the energy in there, do what you need to do. in a month, because this is going to present itself in a month. Like it's almost as though you're getting that direct message. Like this isn't all for naught. You know, there is going to be the progress. So work towards it. That's what I'm getting. Yeah.
It does seem worth it.
Yeah, it does. There is going to be a transition. Something is coming through. It's going to be amazing, but you'll see. Just keep doing the work.
You'll see.
Yeah.
He is going to inspire you. La la. But like I said, you can't fill that glass unless it's already full.
Yeah.
Or if it's already full.
If it's already, yeah. You can't, you want to sort of empty it out in order to fill it up with the good and positive things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He has changed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go into our last one here.
Jen.
We've got Miss Jenna.
Okay, I'm going to just start with something here. Jen, do not contact this man again. I'm going to tell you that straight up. You're not letting him come to you. He needs to do this in order for this to be created. I know you want to have that communication, but the more that you contact, the more it actually sets him back a little bit. Okay. He needs to, I can't remember if you said what his birth date is. He's a,
she said in there somewhere.
He's a Libra. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. Libras can be very back and forth and kind of wishy-washy at times within their energy, depending on their moon. Doesn't mean that they're bad people. I don't mean it. I don't want any Libras coming after me saying, how dare you? But they have a harder time making decisions about things. And it can be an energy that can be very strong in some sense and very stubborn in some sense. But at the same degree, it can be a little bit like, don't know if I'm quite there yet, you know? So the more that there's a contact, whereas a Virgo knows exactly what they want for the most part. A Virgo knows, right? Like Virgos are like, hey, here I am, presenting, there you are. You're all in your power. All right. But I feel like the more that you contact him, it does push him back, because it's, again, coming into that beautiful strength of the Libra. He wants to be the one that kind of takes charge and takes the lead. And if he's not quite in that energy, it becomes very blocking to him. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. Yes, never contacting him again.
Well, I think you're onto something, and I want to sound off with this. Jenna, you have so much going on astrologically right now. I mean, this great conjunction is happening right over your Neptune. We've also got Neptune and the moon transiting over your natal Jupiter, excuse me. You've got Uranus going directly conjunct your ascendant. I mean, you've got a lot going on. You are amidst an amazing transformation in your life at this time. And it is putting you into some intense energy. I mean, you're probably feeling more energized than a lot of us. This is going to be essential for you to be doing any kind of meditations, out of body work, astral travel, astral work. This is huge moment for you that you can absolutely take advantage of. I mean, all of these, Neptune makes all these beautiful trines over to your Sun and your Mercury and your Venus. This really is setting you up for some amazing things. If you have any ideas, anything you want to manifest, plant these seeds on the 21st, write them down, whatever you can do to get these ideas into something physical is going to be extremely beneficial for you. Goal setting is going to be huge. Again, anything that you can do to get out of the body and focus on these higher realms, higher energies, or higher frequencies is going to be extremely beneficial. All of this is happening in your 10th house too. So setting career goals is going to be, that's going to be one of the best ways that you can work with this. But again, you have Uranus transiting your ascendant over in Taurus. Your ascendant is Taurus, and Uranus is right there. Who you are, and especially to the outside world, is going to look like it's going through a change. You can also offer bursts of insights for other people as well. So it did just go over your Saturn. Your Saturn's at 2 degrees Taurus. So you've already went through that probably about a year ago. So that's kind of already transitioned, but now it's hitting your ascendant. So who you are on the outside is going to look like it changes, if not changes for you as well. So again, career goals, that's going to be monumentally important to set those intentions right now. And then also anything that you do with out-of-body work, that's going to be highlighted as well. So those two things are where I really want you to focus right now, based on this big conjunction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. So you finished up with work. Good.
I know you want to get back together with him, but again, the more that you're putting the energy towards it, unless you're truly in that place of, where you're not thinking about the negative, or the negative aspects within your relationship, all of that stuff, I feel like it's just a time to remove yourself from that. Again, it doesn't mean that things aren't going to happen, because I still do feel that happening. But when we're in that place of this is what I want, well, what it is that we want, that means that we don't have, right? What we need, we don't have. What we want, we don't have. So the universe doesn't work like that. Basically, what you want to do is get into that power of, I already have this. This is my guy. We're already together. We're already, whatever it is, like however it is that you need to, present that to the universe, what it is that you're wanting. And, the funny thing is, although a lot of people, especially when they're manifesting, they go low, right? They're like, I just want a phone call. Oh, okay, well, you can get a phone call. Here you go.
Yeah, it's a
done.
tax collector.
See ya. Right? The universe is like, it's kind of like wasting a wish on a genie, right? It's like wasting a wish on a genie. Like, oh, like a genie says, well, what do you want? Well, I want some food. Okay, well, here's a fucking cracker. There you go.
I meant I wanted a full course meal. Thank you, universe.
Yeah. Or I want enough food to fill up my fridge and feed my family for the next 10 years and feed the neighbors. And do you know what I mean? Why are we going low? We don't need to go low. I mean, this is the universe. The universe and God can do miracles, right? And that's what we have to remember. But when we put ourselves into a low place, what are we creating? We're creating a low vibration. If you want the marriage and the babies and the 2.4 kids and the dog named Spot and the white picket fence, put it out there, create it. But you also have to be in that energy of actually you receiving it. Okay.
Yes, you have to focus on the feeling,
right,
not the person.
Even if you're taking like 5 minutes out of the day and saying, this is what it would feel to be in that relationship with Caleb, yada, yada, yada. And you know what? Here's the interesting thing. You can put some negative things in there. It doesn't mean, I don't mean negative things. It's kind of like, but it's like reality. What happens in relationships? Well, not every day is like a fuzzy, warm freaking blanket. That would be crazy, right? we wish it would be like that, but those are usually not the true relationships. Those aren't the real relationships, because real relationships, is people that get sick or people that have the stomach flu, your dog throwing up when they come in the front door, stepping on vomit in the morning, this and that, and things blowing. Those are reality, right? Like, get out of the fuzzy future. You look at reality, and and you kind of go, okay, how would I react to that? How would I? So now what you're doing is your brain is creating a reality rather than the fuzzy happy picture of everything. Everybody's going to have a lull in their conversations. Everybody's going to have a lull. Maybe they wake up in the morning and they're not feeling all positive and happy. How would that feel? How would you react in that situation with Caleb? Would you be after him? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? No, you're just going to go, dude, drink some freaking coffee, go chill out in the garage and do what you got to do. And then, we'll begin our day. Put the reality in, because now you're creating a reality. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. But when we're manifesting, I don't waste your wishes, don't waste the small wishes on the genie. Put the big things out there and let the God and the universe create it for you. So he threw up during our trip and caused our COVID scare. Sorry, poor guy. But here's the thing is, those are real relationships, right? And a lot of people think about relationships and they go, everything's going to be all happy and comfy and cozy. No, you know what? The bottom line is, one of you is going to spend like 10 freaking hours in a bathroom, maybe not knowing which end to put on the toilet. People get sick. People have, people fall, people do this, people do that. That's reality. And that's true, love, right? Is being able to accept that, and those are those things that you want to create, because the brain looks at that and goes, yeah, that's reality. And then it starts really creating, right? Because when we get into a place of happy and fuzzy, the brain's kind of like, doesn't compute. Doesn't mean you can't have the happy moments in there. It's just saying create a reality, right? Everybody has relationships. You're going to have those great days. You're going to have those bad days. You're going to have those days that are just whatever, And so when you create that, you're now the universe is looking at that and creating an entire picture rather than portions of a picture, which allows your brain to fill up with like negative crap. Right? So again, use the universe to its advantage. Use God, like ask God for it all rather than just the snippets. That's what I wanted to say. So
beautiful. I think that also, I was talking about the manifesting and setting intentions for career. It's important. Mm-hmm. What I want to make note about, and why I think what you're saying is so important, is that with this transit in her chart, in Jenna's chart, that the Neptune and Moon conjunct Jupiter, they oppose her Venus, which we know Venus is more of the love-oriented planet. So it could be quite literally that things are coming out opposite than what is wanted because of this transit. So it's important to make sure there aren't reactions, but intentions being set, just because of the opposite nature of what's happening in the chart. So that's why I think what you're saying is it's really important that, setting the clear intentions, and then of course them not being attached to any specific person, because if you limit yourself in that way, then it could be screwing everything up, because we can't control anybody else. They only control themselves. And that's why if you focus on the emotion and the feeling and the energy over the person, then you're likely to see your result manifest.
Absolutely. And allow that free will. And again, it's a matter of removing that energy for him to heal, and for him to come into himself in order to create what the both of you, I feel like the both of you eventually want together, right? So I think that was it. Right? Ooh, that was a long day.
I mean, we had a lot more people that wanted to come on, but we've already went over another 2 hours or hour and a half or so.
Almost 4 hours actually, my time.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So All right. And I didn't cry
today.
Well, I almost did, but I didn't go into a full-blown So that
I'd
was
say that's a success then.
it's like, oh good, I didn't have to fix my makeup. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. We truly appreciate it. Brandon, can you please give them your website?
So thedreamteacher.com is where you can find me. You can send me emails if you have questions, set up a free consultation if you're unsure of what kind of reading to get or what we can do, to work together, and just click on the appointments page to set up an appointment with me if you want to get in touch.
Yes. And my information is all down below in the description box. Best place to reach me is on my Facebook page, Oracle Intuitions, or at www.intuitions.com, or follow me on Instagram at Oracle_Intuitions. And we will be here next Saturday, 1 o'clock Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. It's truly a pleasure for us to be able to connect with everyone. It does mean a lot for us that you're, taking your time out of your day and coming on to the show. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Click like on the video. And we're so looking forward to seeing you next week. Merry Christmas to everybody. It's going to be Boxing Day next week. So that'll be kind of exciting. And so if you're not hitting Boxing Day sales, because I know I'm not, because we're not allowed to leave our houses. Well, we can, but we're going to be here. So thank you so much to everybody. Have an amazing week. Many blessings. And Brandon, do you have any closing messages at all? Stay strong. Honestly, get through the 21st.
Yeah, the 21st, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of us. And just be clear on your intentions, and also focus on humanitarian efforts. Everything that resides with the Aquarian energy, this really is ushering this Aquarian age. So I think stay focused on that, and how you can help others is going to be the best energy.
Yeah. Jen, it is I don't know if you guys do Boxing Day in the States, but it's so us.
No, we don't.
Are you serious? You guys don't have Boxing Day? No?
Nope.
Oh, what the heck, guys? No. Well, you're missing out. It's like our Black Friday, right? But we still do Black Friday, so they just like us to spend lots of money. So that's so we get the Black Friday, plus we get the Boxing Day, so whatever. It is what it is. Not that I'm going anywhere. Chances are anyway. So, okay. Thank you so much, guys. And have an amazing week. Take care and many blessings. All right. Bye-bye. End stream. I can never tell if that's working or not. Oh, there we go.